If you ain't nasty, don't act.
Florabella on my screen, her smile it shines so bright. She's a queen with every scene, in the morning or the night. Recipes and good vibes flow, every video a gem. Her confidence it grows and grows, we're inspired like her friends. Unstoppable Flora, she's got that power, spreading her aura, blossoming like a flower. Through the highs and all the lows, she remains so strong. Her spirit always glows, she's where we all belong. With every like and every share, we feel her energy. No storm too strong, she can't bear. She's setting us all free. Unstoppable Flora, she's got that power, spreading her aura, blossoming like a flower. Recipes and good vibes flow, every video a gem. Her confidence it grows and grows, we're inspired like her friends. Unstoppable Flora, she's got that power, spreading her aura, blossoming like a flower. Through the highs and all the lows, she remains so strong. Her spirit always glows, she's where we all belong. Every share, we feel her energy. No storm too strong, she can't bear. She's setting us all free. Unstoppable Flora, she's got that power, spreading her aura, blossoming like a flower. Through the highs and all the lows, she remains so strong. Her spirit always glows, she's where we all belong.
Good evening, beautiful people. Good evening. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys are doing good. I'm doing great. Finally getting used to the new schedule. Hopefully this is working out for people. I know y'all used to me getting up 7 o'clock in the morning, bright-eyed, bushy-tail, reviewing body cam. That's just not possible so much anymore. Has to be on the weekend and evening. So anyways, I hope you guys are all enjoying your night so far. Hello, everybody, my peoples. We have the usuals in the building of Empress Kia, TMKC, Young Riaz. We have Dawn in the building, and we got Kiki Star. I hope you guys are doing really good tonight. Thank you so much for your kind words and your compliments. You guys are all appreciated. Thank you so much. Despite the dust, fortunately, us Black women, we got to get up and we got to keep moving. All right. So thank you guys for your kind words and your compliments. I appreciate it. As women, actually, women in general, we got to get up and keep moving. So that's what I'm doing. I hope you guys are enjoying your evening, though. All right. So we're going to get right into it. You guys kind of, where do these folks be coming? Where do y'all come from? Where like, it is what it is. But we're gonna get into it. You guys see the title. We're talking about the worst parent ever, right? So obviously the subject that we're gonna be covering today is sensitive. If conversations about child abuse and neglect and things like that, if that will make you uncomfortable, this is just my trigger warning for you before we get into the whole conversation. Okay, so we're gonna start nice and early. with a body cam of a man who was at a restaurant with his son. He was there for quite a long time, and he did what a lot of people, are afraid to do in situations like this. People definitely call the police, but actually watching over the children and make sure the child is safe, that is like something a lot of people are afraid to, step up and actually do. Maybe they're worried of the response they'll get. But nonetheless, in this case, people did all the right things that I would say you should do if this situation is presented in front of you. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. This man went out to lunch. He was there for a few hours, and the restaurant noticed something about his condition.
All right, how are you?
Good.
So, you go over here, got a turquoise shirt, back to his third table up. I was in the office. Apparently, the staff, we came in like this. We haven't served him anything. We started throwing chips at the kid, and he's been like passing in and out. We just went to get up and like almost fell over to take his son to the bathroom. And I walked over. I said, "I'll get your son." He looked at me like, "You don't know me from Adam, right?" And just let me take his son. My manager's in the bathroom right now. She's with his son.
One of my partners. Yeah, he's right here. He's coming in. Don't worry. Take it. What's going on, man? What's going on?
Good, how are you?
Good, all right. So, what are you guys doing today?
Going home?
Going home? How are you getting there?
I'm gonna have somebody driving.
Okay. Where are they at?
They're not here.
Well, I know that.
I can get them.
Okay. So,
Is that okay?
well, yeah, there was just cause concern for your son because you're clearly intoxicated.
Yeah.
They were concerned about your son.
So for somebody who hasn't been served at this establishment, right, he's pretty drunk looking, right? He's very noticeably red, barely like cognizant of the conversation they're having. This guy is he's not sober. So the fact that they haven't served him is immediately questionable, right? Like I would want him to probably leave my establishment if he came in looking like this. He wanted to get out. Yeah, doing too much. Listen. But you can just sort of tell that he's super overly inebriated. And he hasn't been served at that restaurant. So I would be scared of a customer coming in like this because that you're liable for whatever could happen, especially if you do serve them. Even if you don't, like the condition that they're in, they leave the establishment, something could go wrong, and you witness this person noticeably drunk. So let's continue. We're gonna see how he's gonna respond to the police.
That's why they called us here.
Yeah, where's he at?
The manager has him in the bathroom. Because they said when you got up to try to take him to the bathroom, you almost fell over. So the manager said that she'd take it for you.
Okay. Can you please bring him back?
What's that?
Can you please
They'll come back. Who's coming to get you?
Oh, I also, if you guys didn't catch that, he was also throwing chips at the kid at the table when they were eating.
Nobody's coming to get me. I would actually like to ride home.
From who?
I will call an Uber, I guess.
I mean,
That's probably the best bet, right?
yeah, that's the best bet. How did you get here?
My truck.
So where did you drink at? Because they said they didn't serve you.
I drank here.
Okay.
Right? If he brought alcohol with him or he's been, concealing alcohol in his person, he could have very well, bought some alcohol and drank it at that restaurant because he knew he couldn't go home with it. So, he's trying to be slick in the way that he's answering, but he's not low. I got that, right? He could have definitely brought it with you, but it doesn't mean the restaurant served him.
I drank here. From what I remember.
From what you remember?
Yeah.
How long have you been here?
A couple hours the most.
Okay. Been out Christmas shopping, or you just come out to get something to eat?
It was Christmas shopping initially, yes.
Okay.
We're keeping the sun preoccupied.
Oh, yeah.
You should have a go about it.
All right. My partner just went to go check on him.
Yeah, all good, man. I apologize. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Sometimes, you know what I mean, you drink a little bit too much. And
Is that a good donut?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's mommy? People were just concerned for your son's safety.
yeah, I agree.
So
200%.
Are you single parent?
No, sir.
Where's your wife or girlfriend?
She's at home.
Did she come pick you guys up?
No, she lives all the way over in Daytona.
Okay, that's not very far.
Yeah, but no.
Because I think that's probably the best thing for the welfare of your son.
Thank you so much, Chalk, for the donation. She says, hey, Floor, sliding through before it gets musty in here. Okay. It's not going to get musty in here, but thank you so much for the super chat. You greatly appreciate it. Devil says, what's happening? Well, this man was in a restaurant with his child. He is heavily inebriated and tried to take the child to the bathroom and almost collapsed. So the restaurant staff took his child to the bathroom, which is a lady, and helped the child out, and then they called the police. So that's what we're watching so far. He is telling them that they served him, but the restaurant is refuting that. They're saying they did not serve this man a lick of alcohol. He's drunk because he came drunk.
Have him call him off.
Yeah. So let's call your wife, girlfriend, whoever she is, so she can come pick up you and her child.
She's not going to drive all the way out here.
Yeah, she will. She will.
No, she won't.
Okay. Give me her phone number.
That's not any of your business, no offense.
Okay. So it is my business because I'm trying.
If there's one person's business that it actually is the police, okay? Especially when there's a kid involved. Like, nobody can care less if you're in here getting yourself hammered up and acting a damn fool. They'll arrest you for public intox and get rid of you. The concern here is that you had a child with you, right? You have a child and you're drinking and you're clearly unable to take care of yourself.
Trying to get your son to a safe spot. And right now he's not.
Okay, and I'm telling you right now, if you take me to a safe spot,
Okay.
I have my son.
Okay.
We're not a taxi.
One, you're extremely intoxicated. Okay. You're not in a position to take care of your son at this point. So I need to get you somebody who can take care of him. Your phone's over there.
Is that your phone right there?
He always texts me, but I don't remember. Yeah. That's good though.
We know Chuck, you got. Make sure I have it right.
What's the name of this restaurant?
La Fiesta.
Hold on. Let's hang out. You gotta talk to this guy.
Can I get an itemized list of his bill?
Sure.
He said he had my child. Where's he at?
He's safe right now.
And that's so sad, right? Because now he's worried about it, but like, he's pretty much just lucky that these were good people, right? He's lucky that these people called the police, one, because his child was safe, and two, they took care of his child, at least in that moment. That kid needed to use the bathroom. His dad was so drunk he couldn't even stand up to help him. Now you're worried about your kid after your kid has been, according to you, you wouldn't know where he is outside of he went to the bathroom with the manager just between the time the police came in now. And now you're worried about where your son is at. Look at how beat red he is on top of that. Obvious sign of being drunk, unfortunately, for the whites. For my white people, right? You guys, a lot of y'all, when you're drunk, you're very red. For him, this is just a dead giveaway. He could also be sunburned, but it's giving like all the blood is rushing in his face right now.
That's not the question. Where's
That's
my
my
child?
answer. Is he safe right now?
Okay.
Don't get up. Don't get up.
No, don't
get up.
touch me.
Do not get up. Do
What?
not get up. Come on. You're going to jail. Just put your hands on him. We'll solve the problem.
Where is my son?
Now, there was people in the chat, not the chat, the comment section, who were like, the police officer lied on him. He didn't touch him. What happened to just comply? Right? Because right here, the officer tells him, no, you need to stay sitting down. Like, there's no longer time for you to go figure out where your kid is, right? We're here. We were called. So sit your ass down. But for some reason, people in the comments were thinking, maybe that they lied on him. But as far as I'm concerned,
That's not the question. Where's
That's
my
my
child?
answer. Is he safe right now?
Okay.
Don't get up. Don't get up.
No,
Don't
don't
get up.
touch me.
Do not get up. Do
What?
not get up. Come on. You're going to jail. Just put your hands on him. Do not-
just again, for y'all.
Okay.
Don't get up. Don't get up.
No, don't
get up.
touch me.
Do not get up. Do
What?
not get up. Come on. You're going to jail. Just put your hands on him. We'll solve the problem.
Where is my son?
Oh, right now he's safe.
Thank you, Kiki Star, for the donation. She says he doesn't even know the name of the restaurant. Yeah, he's in there acting a damn fool, right? He's drunk as hell. Don't even know where his kid is. Can't take him to the bathroom. Don't know the name of the Mexican restaurant he just grubbed on, and it has 2 boxes of to-go, which are gonna go in the trash, by the way. He don't even know the name. Oh, geez. The white man can do no harm. Who said that, Vic? Who said that, Vic? Who said that? I never said that. I don't even think white people say that. Have a good night, young Riaz. Thanks for coming. And I was reading quickly while I was trying to review at the same time, but congratulations on your milestone. Thanks so much for coming. I've never said this. He's drunk. He's relying on his superpowers. Yeah, he's hoping that the alcohol is going to get him through this, right? It's going to help him break through these officers' grip and go find his son because he's such an amazing dad.
Giving me a hard time when I'm trying to find my son.
Well, because you think you're concerned with your son, but you're actually highly intoxicated in public with your son, which is not a safe spot for him to be. So before you put your hands on me, you need to take a hard look in the mirror for a second. Okay?
Understood.
We're going outside. Should probably talk some sense into your boyfriend before he puts hands.
He straight up, I'm going to say this. He straight up sunned him. Like, he said, you're in here with your kid, drunk as hell during the day, don't even know where the hell you're at. You have some nerve. So it's like the people in the chat the people in the comment section who were saying, that he was somehow did wrong and they shouldn't have arrested him. I mean, the dude is belligerently drunk. You're a severe alcoholic if you're wasted with your 6-year-old son at lunch. That's the only thing that should be of concern to anybody with this stop, right? He's in a restaurant with a 6-year-old and plastered. Barely can walk, can't even take the kids to the bathroom. Imagine if a predator came and said, you want me to help your son? And he's so drunk, he doesn't even know that he's allowing his son to be cared for by somebody who's obviously not safe, which is a lot of what happens to kids who aren't being monitored properly, So it's very sick of him. The caucasity. You guys are so silly. Control your kids. You can't run no rooster. What? Vic, stop coming in here being.
Hands on him. Well, you guys with him?
He's his wife and I'm his wife.
Where's our son? Let me get it for you.
Yeah, we've got this.
I'm gonna pull your pants up just so I don't pant you in front of this whole parking lot. Okay. You can, yeah, spread your feet in a little bit. Do the best I can. They're not.
Hey, man, I honestly apologize. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful.
Well, you put your hands on an officer. That's a big no-no.
I know. I'm asking you with the bottom of my heart, because this is going to cause me a lot of things.
With the bottom of his heart, he's asking. You know, and it's so pathetic. He's not even, it seems like at this point, he's really not concerned about anything other than getting in trouble. He didn't want to call his girl, who came there within a couple minutes, as you guys can see. He didn't want to call her to pick him up. He didn't want her to know. And I don't know if they've said it yet, but he's fresh out of rehab.
I'm asking you
I'm listening.
from the bottom of my heart, can I please just be okay and go home?
I mean, you blew that chance as soon as you touched my officer. Hey, buddy. Come on, mommy's here.
What's my squeaky deck?
Your squeaky deck?
I've been sober for like, I don't know, 26 days. So
You decide to just put that down the drain today?
Oh, so I just ruined the surprise. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so he has been in rehab for like 20-something days, and he just threw it all down the drain so he can get shit-faced at lunch with his 6-year-old. So, yeah.
I made a bad decision, sir. Sir, I apologize for being disrespectful. Honestly, it's gonna put. I'm trying to get my life back together.
Now, I don't know why I thought that when he said rubber ducky that he was just joking. The ducky is literally from getting out of rehab. He don't need to be alone with that kid. Yeah, that's the other part too. But it's like I do kind of feel for her, because she was probably like, you know what? He's out of rehab. I want him to take care of get back in his kid's life. I'm gonna give him a chance to go and be with the kid. I think it was naive, but I definitely feel like a lot of times, especially drug addicts and alcoholics, when they try to go out and get treatment, they lose a lot of time with their family members and loved ones, and those loved ones want to make up for that time that the kid lost. And she probably felt like, oh, go out and have a day with your dad, not realizing this is very freshly out of rehab person, probably need a little bit more supervision and maybe a little bit more monitoring of just making sure he stays on track. And that's not because you don't respect or trust your partner, but I think rehab and coming out is a hard thing, you know? So maybe you're right. She shouldn't have left the kid alone with him, but I think maybe she was just coming from a good place, unfortunately. It's really unfortunate. People who do drugs and alcohol, they don't realize what they're doing to their loved ones. You know, they're losing a lot of time with their loved ones. You know, they're missing milestones. Those kids have no memories, no happy memories with that parent. You know, and so a lot of people will be around trying to play catch up. What did he do? He was at a restaurant with his son, his 6-year-old son that he drove to, and he was hammered. He couldn't even help take his son to the bathroom. So, you know, the restaurant had to call the police. So I'm going to end that one there because there's not too much more. They're just going to look in his pockets in the receipt and see that he didn't buy not a lick of alcohol at this restaurant. So again, he's hammered the way he is, having come into the restaurant that way. He wasn't served anywhere else. He came straight there. So the next one, we're going to get right into it. I'm going to try and not give you guys so much synopsis so we can have some so we can build some tension. All right, we're gonna get into this one here. Make it full screen, and we'll go.
The only way you're gonna stop doing this.
Hey! What's that?
That is my son.
On June 19th, 2022, dispatch alerted officers to conduct a welfare check at an intersection. A witness reported seeing a 4-year-old walking with an adult who appeared impaired. Another witness observed the adult male stumbling while the child sat on a wall at the corner. Both witnesses expressed concern.
Hi there. Police department. Hi, buddy. Happy Father's Day. So the reason we're here is because somebody called in for a welfare check. They said that it seems like you've maybe had too much to drink. Is this your dollar? Is that yours? Job behind you. Is this yours?
What's up?
I know. Is this your dollar?
This is Russia.
Okay.
No, we're just someone called in and we're just checking to make sure that you guys are okay. It looks like you spilled a little bit, and we just want to make sure that you're okay.
So that's a really busy intersection, like really, really busy. I don't know what I was expecting, maybe a bus stop or something, but that is an extremely busy intersection. There's cars and lights. You probably can't even cross the street without waiting for delay. It's probably not a place where you could, just wait for some cars to slow down. It looks like a busy intersection. Not only that, his condition would tell me he don't know what the hell is going on. He got multiple spills on his outfit. I mean, if somebody didn't call the police, it would be crazy at this point.
You guys can talk to him. This is my son.
But we want to talk to you first. But you're responsible for him. And he's.
Thank you so much, Sammy, for the super chat. He says, "Hey, he's just chilling there with no shoes on in the middle of an intersection." And his reaction time is definitely delayed. Yeah, he's like, it's taking him a minute to like think up what it is that they're actually saying to him. So obviously not in a state of consciousness to be taking care of anybody's kids. You know what I mean? Just really not. Sarah G says no shade either. Oh, listen, shade or no shade, I think at the end of the day, like, we shouldn't be ashamed to expect people to speak up when they see children in danger. Right? I think that's one main thing that we should be doing. If we see a kid in danger, forget about the adults. If we're concerned about them, are those kids safe? If they're not, we should be reporting it. That's how I feel about it. A lot of communities still have a belief of minding your own business. I don't believe when it comes to children that you should mind your business at all. So.
He's not wearing any shoes.
Who the f is that?
It doesn't matter. He's just walking down the street.
I live in the fucking motel. What the?
Okay. So what are you doing over here?
What?
Oh well, if you live there, are you just hanging out down here? I mean, it's a nice day out. I know.
I give money for the fucking guy over there, and I move over here because I wanna wait for my fucking brother and my.
There's a language barrier too, so I'm not gonna act like I don't hear that. Right? He definitely has a language barrier. I think he sounds like, who he sounds like? He sounds like Asuelu from 90 Day Fiancé. I don't know if you guys watch that show, but that big Pacific Islander, he sounds just like that. I don't really know what he's saying too well, but he definitely has a strong accent. So he's drunk and he has a strong accent that's making him hard to understand.
Me? Yeah. I don't know how to speak furry.
Oh, that's fine. So
English.
So you have family who's coming over here to meet you? You have family, your brother, you said you have family coming to come meet you? So what do you, if you live over here, or if you live just right over here, what are you doing over here on the corner?
No.
I know,
I know. Have you maybe had a little bit to drink today?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know how to speak English. Okay?
What language do you speak? What language?
What happened? What happened here? Did you spill? Yeah, I will.
You guys can take
Yeah, I'll talk to him and you
This is my fucking son.
Hey,
No, I understand.
Okay?
no one's challenging that. No one is saying that he's not your
When
son.
you guys like talk to you guys like I try to.
Someone just called and said they were concerned because they said you looked a little unsteady. Someone driving by said you looked a little unsteady.
Who?
Who? You know, who? What do you mean who? We're all watching you unsteady right now. Like, it doesn't matter who called. We're witnessing it. Like, the delusion in some of these people and their substance issues. Lenore, stop it. That man is drunk. Yeah, I think Lenore is just being silly. You know, honestly, I haven't seen many people mistake Parkinson's or anything like that for alcohol abuse. That's not something that I see people commonly make a mistake. And again, I said if children are involved, your grown ass shaking a target has nothing to do. I'm sorry. That was so mean. I'm sorry. Your grown ass, you know, compared to a child, you know, I would be more inclined to react if it was a child going through something like that versus you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't think this is, I just don't think like the argument you're making applies to children. Right? If you see kids in a bad, dangerous situation, for example, like in the middle of an intersection with their drunk father, right? While, you know, who's stumbling on his words, though he don't got no shoes on, he's dirty, the baby dirty. I think that's a safe reason to call the police. Sophie said, I'd be shaking. Listen, I had my grandchild with me. Oh, okay. Okay. You see, this is why I didn't want to say that whole sentence that I just said, but it just came straight to my face. I mean, to my mouth. But, you know, I think like, okay, so maybe that person was just misleading. But I think 9 times out of 10, what we see is not that there aren't that many grays, right? Like a lot of times people will see a child looking scraped up, looking dirty, whatever. Like your situation might be a situation where someone mistaked you, but I would rather somebody make a mistake than a child who's in a bad situation not getting the attention and the help that they need. So, you know, like it sounds bad, but I would prefer, you know, I would prefer somebody find out that you just had Parkinson's than like a child abuser to get free and we didn't know what the case was. I don't know. Maybe I'm saying it wrong, but okay, I get it. He either spilled all that rink on the ground or peed on the wall, and it's probably why he got called in. You know, I think he spilled all the drink. You know, that's what I think, because it looks like he got spills on him. And then I don't know if you guys heard the police officer when she got there, she said the baby was all sticky, like his hands and his feet. So I think it was the soda. So let's continue.
We don't know that personally. There was 2 people have driven by and said that it seemed like you maybe have had too much to drink.
This is my son.
Absolutely. Nobody's doubting that.
Can we call someone for you?
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I think that would be a good.
Do you have a phone number of a friend or a family member who can come help out and get you home?
Yeah, is mom here? Is she down here?
That's the fucking.
Is that a
problem?
Yeah.
I always call them, and they never.
Do you live right over here though, right? Can we help just walk you over there? I mean, is that something we can do? We just want to make sure.
I'll take. Can I carry you? You got no shoes on.
TMKC, go ahead and give Victor a 10-minute timeout, please, because I'm tired of seeing his ass in the chat arguing with himself like a victim. Okay, please. I'm tired of seeing. He's getting up my fucking nerves.
Can I carry you? Come here, sweet.
Because again, we're on a very important subject, and it really bothers me how many people come and start acting like a Karen when we're talking about kids. You know, like again, I would prefer somebody be mistaken for being a drunk and we clear that up than to let a child go off into a bad situation, right? Like that's how I feel about that. I also feel like when we have these type of conversations, the other type of trolls that come into this chat are like the ones who don't want to have the conversation. So they try to take the conversation away from the subject. And that's what I feel like you're doing, Vic. So I'm going to have TMKC block you because this is a very important subject. Oh wow, Larry Vanell, you sound like a nigga. How you gonna call me a nigga and be sounding like one? Like I'm supposed to believe you're an old white man. Police never gave me and my homies that option. Yeah. All right, let's continue.
How old are you? You're all wet. How old are you?
Very sticky.
What if?
Okay, well, he's just like literally walking away from his kid. So we're not gonna. We have to make sure there's an adult who can get this child safe. Well, I mean, he's just literally leaving his kid. Hi, baby.
What's your name?
That's a step. Is he on this right now? Are you okay? Are you hungry? Huh? Yeah.
And it's always sad when it's a baby who doesn't, like when it's a little kid who hasn't learned how to communicate yet. Like it's bad enough that it's hard for kids to communicate, especially when they're not being taught to and they're living in these oppressive households. But it's so much worse when they're at an age where they wouldn't know how to communicate. No, the kid is 4. The kid's 4 years old. It's pretty tall, and I mean the dad is big. I don't know if you guys know, like Pacific Islander people tend to be like taller and things like that. But the baby is 4. You know, it's not old or anything. But obviously doesn't really know how to communicate that well. And I hate when it's situations like that. You know. Now, oh, okay.
Is there someone here? Oh, that's a person.
Okay, see, I thought the same thing, but that looks like that's a homeless man's little cart. So, let's continue.
Do you know this little boy? Sorry to bother you. Do you know him? No? Okay. Okay.
There you go. Found that on the ground. You have it.
Where do you live right now? Are you still staying in the motel?
Right.
Is there anyone else there, or is it just you at the motel right now?
No, me and my brother and my brother-in-law.
Okay, so you have family that's here as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we'll just come over here.
This is my son right here.
Yeah.
He's very cute.
What's his name?
Chosen.
Say it again.
Chosen. And like,
Chosen?
how do you say it? Like
Chosen?
JJ.
Okay, right on. He's very cute. Very cute.
Who said that? Who called you guys?
People talking about. They just thought that you look like you maybe had a couple drinks this morning, and we're a little understanding.
He had a second ago. He had when the police were there, but no, now there's a police officer who's carrying him. I don't know if you guys just saw her in the last frame, but there's a lady cop who's yep, she's carrying him now.
He's very cute.
What's his name?
Chosen.
Say it again.
Chosen. And like,
Chosen?
how do you say it? Like
Chosen?
JJ.
Okay, right on. He's very
That's a pretty name, though. I'm not gonna lie. Chosen is a pretty name. I know it's like, oh, Chosen, but I think that's a pretty name. I'm not gonna lie.
very cute.
Who said that? Who called you guys?
People talking about. They just thought that you look like you maybe had a couple drinks this morning, and we're a little understanding.
I did.
You did?
I'm sure.
Yeah. How much?
Because today is my day off.
Yeah, Father's Day. I know. Yeah, you gotta relax. You know.
Yeah, we are not letting this boy go with him until we have another grown-up.
We just wanted to make sure that you were okay, that he was okay, and that you got someone else here who can kind of keep an eye on everybody. So are you guys, which one are you guys in?
You can go.
So do you not have your car key? Your key card?
My brother-in-law. My brother-in-law, that the one that have my car key.
Okay, but you which room are you staying in?
Can I see you? Here. Do you have any owies? Huh? Do you have any owies on you? What happened?
He is a big boy. Y'all are right. At first, I didn't see how tall he is. He's very tall. And I do think he should be able to communicate more than that. You know, I don't know, Alana. I know 4-year-olds are usually pretty good at talking. Some aren't, though. And every kid kind of has their own pace, so I try not to judge. But I do think a 4-year-old should be able to communicate. I also notice he's not very expressive. The boy isn't really seeming to be disturbed by the fact that he doesn't have shoes on, that he's dirty, that his dad's dirty, that his dad's drunk. He seems to be very calm around all of this, which is very unfortunate. Seems like it's a common occurrence, which we're going to hear from his family in a little bit, just how common it is. So
you're all sticky. Do you know how old you are?
I think I missed you because I was reading some little raggedy comments. How you doing tonight? The police are actually trying to resolve this without incident, or at least it appears that way. Yeah, they have no interest in arresting him. Like, go sit in your hotel room, but you're not getting this baby back. And a lot of times, you got to pick your battles. I think that's what they were doing in this case, right? Because is it worth it tussling with this man? He's not driving. He's just in the middle of the road. He can be a danger to himself, but he cannot be a danger to this child. We have to do our best for our children. Listen, Brian, I'm with you, but there's a lot of mediocre people out here who are reproducing at a high rate. Like, I'm never gonna look at a child and be like, oh, you shouldn't be here, right? At the end of the day, that child is here. That child is here. And now sacrifices need to be made, right? People need to be willing to get up and work, clean your house, right? Save your money, feed your children. Like, that's what you have to do when you have kids. But there's a lot of people now that it seems like they're just having kids just to have them, you know? And I mean, maybe this isn't a very new thing, but definitely, yeah. We're in 2025 now, so the idiocracy is in 2025 with us. Oh yeah, my 3-year-old niece talks a lot. But I'm saying, like, as somebody who's worked with children, still works with children, I've seen a range of communication abilities at 4 years old, and not necessarily leading to them not being able to communicate in when they get older. I've just sort of seen people struggle with that communication around that age. There's some kids who aren't even potty trained at 4. So I try to be graceful with ages and abilities of ages, things like that. Not wanting and settling for mediocre. Oh yeah, there's people who wake up and their only goal for the day is to be as mediocre as they can possibly be. And a lot of them have kids. I'm sorry, a lot of these people who are very, very comfortable in mediocrity have children. And I don't get it. I don't get why they're having kids. I don't know why they're continuously having kids that they can't care for, or that they're going to need to get obliterated on their day off because they're working every other day to care for. I mean, it just seems like people, I don't know. It just seems like the people who shouldn't be having kids are the ones who are doing it the most. And it's not my job to say, I guess everybody can have a kid. But from the amount of body cam that I've seen, and this is mild child abuse, like this is very mild things. We're not seeing as graphic as I usually see in this body cam, because I don't want my channel to be like stricken or anything because of graphic stories. But this is mild compared to what I've seen. Like there are full on documentaries that are made out of some of the body cam of children who are in these toxic or even just mismanaged households where everything's a complete mess. But let's continue, because this guy, he's like this, but he does have people in his life who are at least trying to hold him accountable.
Is there somebody in the room that we can knock on the door?
No. Can you guys just talk to the owner?
I don't know if they're here. It's Father's Day, so they're probably not here.
Hey, listen. I'm going to say this. I have no issue with mediocrity. You want to be mediocre. But I think kids deserve to have parents who are willing to do what they need to do so they can have a decent life. Like, no one's saying your kids got to be rocking the newest shoes, have the newest electronics. They don't need all that. But they need stable parents. They need stable, healthy, aware, caring. I've never had to, when I was a kid, I never had to worry about my mom being drunk during the day or anything crazy like that. I've never even seen my mom drunk till this day. I'm 29 years old. Never seen her drunk. I've seen her tipsy, and when she was tipsy, she was like, let me go get some water and go to sleep. And I'm an adult, but there's kids who are seeing their parents inebriated all the time, and it's a norm. It's very normal in their home. You know, and that, I just think that's a very mediocre way to live your life, to escape in substances because you think that taking care of a child is so hard. Like, it's ridiculous. If a child doesn't have someone who talks with them or some form of education, the babies may struggle. Yeah, we see this. We see this all the time. Please say it a million times over again. Thanks. Thank you for being here, Supreme 5%. It's frustrating, honestly. And look at them damn feet. Like, I hate. I'm not gonna judge. I just hate when men with ashy ass feet wear them damn tongue slippers. It really bothers me. Yeah, because there's a lack of confidence. You know, there's a lack of confidence. They haven't really been taught anything. There's no affirmations happening at all, you know? Yeah, they learn from example too, and the example is poor. You know, substance use issues, a lot of times they say it's a genetic thing that you can receive a trait for. Yeah, it's environmental too. Everyone in your environment is doing drugs, you might do drugs. Everyone in your environment is drinking, you might drink. It just is what it is. You're raised in an environment like that, you might think it's normal to overly drink and overly smoke and overly do everything. He's probably never seen his dad sober, sad. Yeah, and I would say like Slapper Hoppy mentioned was that the kid wasn't even like alarmed. It seemed really normal. It seemed like how he was acting seemed like the norm.
Are you the owner of the motel?
Usually when a parent is out of character, you're gonna see a bit of a response from the kids. Even if it's not massive, you're gonna see a little bit of a response because they're not used to seeing their parent like that.
Yeah. Is this his room?
Yeah, his room.
This is his room?
Not this room.
The next one?
Yeah, but it's today check-in. Today checking. But this guy, this room number 6. But this guy have to stop here. Your brother, where are you going?
Huh?
Your brother.
They go somewhere.
Why somewhere? He said at 12 o'clock here.
Huh?
Yeah, he's saying at 12 o'clock.
I'm trying to wait for them.
Do you have a phone number
Okay,
for the
phone
brother?
number, okay,
Yeah, we need to.
It's okay.
Will you stay with him and I'll go with him?
So how do you think of me?
No, I just want to make sure that you're okay. You know,
Come on now.
Hey, that's what I'm here for, right?
Man, how do you think of yourself? How do you think of yourself? This nigga think like the last thing you should be worried about is how people are looking at you, right? You should be worried about the fact that people are seeing you and your kid in this very terrible condition. I cannot imagine being inebriated in front of my little boy. I would do anything for him. I simply don't believe we are created the same. Exactly, because you don't want your kid to get used to seeing anybody in a super drunk state, right? Because then they're going to think it's normal to be around a bunch of adults who are drunk. The last thing a parent who cares about their kid is going to want them to see is to see them drunk or fighting or any of that, like harsh language. You don't want your kid to absorb any of that. This man is literally at an intersection, drunk, a mess, no shoes on his kid, and he's worried about how people are looking at him. No, you should be worried about the fact that people see the fact that you're not taking care of your kid. That's what you should be worried about. Like, damn, he's usually all good. He's usually all set. No, but he's worried about, hey, what kind of man do you think I am? Or like, what kind of person do you think I am? That's who they think you are. Are you taking care of your kid? That's what anybody is even concerned about. Otherwise, they would let you sit at that intersection all night, get drunk. They wasn't bothering that dude who had the little pulley cart at the bus station. But you have a kid with you. And these types never have reverence for their children. Nobody wants to have more children than a nigga who can't care for his kids. And I'm using the N-word like just because I'm speaking generally, but like somebody who doesn't care for, those are the first people who always want to impregnate somebody or always talk about their lineage or they're a Kang or they want to have kids. Why? You can't even keep your bedroom clean, right? You can't even keep your home clean. You can't even keep yourself clean when you go outside. Why do you want to have more children? Why do you want to have a child?
Because I'm just trying to make sure that you're okay and that your son's.
And named his child Chosen at that. So this is how you would treat the chosen one? Like, just very, very dirty. Yeah, these types make me sick too, Andrew.
Okay, and that you able to get your
That
room,
is my son.
Yeah. And I know you care about him a lot. But we just have to make sure that you guys are okay.
You're so big. Is it just him and this kid?
His brother's also staying here in a separate room. So
okay, I want to like keep them separate.
Yeah.
So
he like does not even know.
That's what I'm saying. Is I feel like we should just go take him and put him in a cop car.
Yes, no.
Can I have his thing too?
I'm gonna take him and just go put him in a
This
car.
is the okay, yeah, go ahead. What are we gonna do? Okay.
There's a guy here.
This is him. Yeah.
No, his kid, he was at an intersection, drunk as hell, with his kids with no shoes on. The baby was all dirty. He was all dirty. And somebody called the police. Then they show single and childless. Then they shame single and childless women. Honestly, you don't see nearly as many single and childless women doing some of the stuff that I've seen. And I'm not going to speak. Like, I know there are plenty of women out there who are gross, terrible caregivers. But the amount of videos that I have found of these men who somehow have been tasked with taking care of children and they're a complete mess is sad. It's so freaking sad. Hey, Robin and DB, I put a hey in the chat because I was still reading some of what was going on here, but I hope you guys are doing good. Like, something is wrong with us for not being a baby mama by age 30. You know, somebody said that the smart people are having less kids and the dummies are having more. I don't know how I feel about that statement. I feel like there's some undertones there that I don't want to address, but I think it's mostly true. Like, people who have no regard for family and any of that, who have no reverence for family and children and the sanctity of a home life, they're having a bunch of kids. You know, they're having plenty of kids. But those of us who really want to change, who want to have good families and good children, or, you know, even just try to provide something normal for kids, we're not in the rush to have a bunch of kids. Archangel says, I'm trying to break that rule. What do you mean? Did you see the video of the man who left the baby in the car and was pulling off, but people were screaming and stopped him? Wow. I can't even imagine what I would say to my partner if he told me that he almost took off with the baby on top of the car. Like, that is ridiculous. Then he put the baby in the car like nothing happened. Oh, yeah, they try to play real dumb and slick. And, you know, the difference between this guy and other cases that I've seen is that his family is going to hold him accountable. So let's get into it.
Yeah? Okay. And then this is his phone number?
Yeah.
Or
Yes.
his phone number?
No, this
is the brother's. The brother's phone number. Okay.
What's the problem?
He's really drunk. And his kid was just like sitting out there with him on the corner of Pack Highway. And he's sticky. He's not wearing any shoes. He walked away from his kid and just acted like it was no big deal. So,
hi, can you help me out with something real quick? Can I just get like some wet paper towel because he's all sticky? And I bet ice, like some water, would be awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you. Ooh, this is warm. Let me see you. You're all sticky. What happened? Oh, you're Fantoing everywhere.
hi, this is Officer Paul. I'm with the Federal Way Police Department. Are you staying at the motel here in Federal Way? Yeah? Okay, well, your brother's here, and he's very, very intoxicated. We found him down the street with his son. His son is covered in, like, sticky juice, and he's not wearing any shoes, and he's not able to take care of his kid right now. So are you able to come meet with us to take the kid? Yeah, he can't take care of the baby. The baby was found on the corner with no shoes and covered in like pop. You're coming? Okay, meet me over in the Advanced Auto Parts parking lot, okay? Advanced Auto Parts, it's literally right next door to the motel. I'll meet you over in the parking lot, okay? Yep, we'll have the boy with us. Yep, thank you. Bye-bye.
It's refreshing though that these officers are not willing to release that child back into his care. You know, it's very refreshing. They have no business leaving that kid with him in the first place. But his family doesn't disappoint. So let's continue.
Right.
And how you guys gonna think of?
Huh?
How you guys gonna think of?
I think you've had too much to drink. I think you probably need to go. You're covered in like pop. I think you should go take a shower and maybe go to sleep. And
I'm okay right now, but I don't know what you guys. Who you guys like? Who call you guys? Like,
Two people have.
People just driving by saw you guys on the corner, and they were just wanted to make sure that you were okay.
The man walks away, unconcerned about his son.
He literally just walked off. Like he started walking north.
That's what I'm saying is, right?
Yeah.
Take this kid in custody.
Yeah. Do you want?
Is the brother coming?
Yeah. And I figured at that point we would just assess how he is, and if he's not.
The officers wait until the man's brothers arrive.
It's the real brother, right?
Other brother. Okay. Have either one of you had anything to drink today?
No, I don't like drinking.
Okay, I'm just asking because he's very intoxicated. He was over here on the sidewalk with your nephew, and he just doesn't.
Why you guys didn't put him in jail?
I'm sorry?
You guys need to put him in jail.
Put him in jail?
Yes, that's the only way you're gonna stop doing this. This is not the first time you do this.
I'm just gonna ask.
And you know your family's tired of your shit. The first thing they say to the police when they get there is put him in jail. Right? Because legally, they can't just take the kid from him, right? And I'm sure part of it being his family too, there maybe they would feel guilty. But you know it's a problem when the first thing your family members say when they see you're stupid behind getting caught up with the police is that you need to go to jail. A lot of people don't feel comfortable just overstepping and calling CPS and taking kids. You know, that could be a hard thing. But if something happens and now they got proof, like, this could empower them. And I think that's what the police officers are trying to do. Even the brothers know this must be a common thing. Yeah, like he tried to brush it off like, oh, I'm just getting drunk because that's my day off. But if you need to get plastered like this, you don't need to be taking care of no kids. If you need to be drunk, if you need to chain smoke 100 cigarettes, then you don't need to take care of no kids. You don't need to. I'm sorry. It's okay, Ashley. You can laugh at this bandit, honestly. You can laugh at him because if his family off the bat is saying put him in jail, then he likely needs to go there. Right? Like this is a 6-year-old. Sorry, not 6-year-old. This is a 4-year-old who is walking around barefoot with him. You know, like he's obviously not capable of caring for a kid. What streaming software do you utilize? Drew, now don't come here asking questions, okay? My bio will tell you what streaming software I use. His family is tired of his shenanigans. Oh, yeah. But yeah, Sugar Bum. So that's what's going on. This man was in the middle, not the middle, but he was on the sidewalk of an intersection with a 4-year-old who barely is dressed, has on no shoes, and is just sort of, you know, sitting there hanging out with his drunk ass daddy who can't even stand up straight. How did he end up with 2 kids? I don't know. Let's hear a little bit more because we're going to hear why this man is raising his kid by himself from his family. Hey, Joshua. Yeah, it's very disturbing, Sugar Bum, but let's continue. I believe he's Palestinian. That's what they look like to me. Not Palestinian. Oh, jeez. Correct. I did an oopsie. Pacific Islander. I'm so sorry. Not Palestinian. Pacific Islander. That's what they look like. I dated one, so I'm not being racist.
This is a common thing.
Yes, always.
Okay, where's mom at?
Mom run away.
Mom's not involved. Okay.
Do me a favor too and hit the like button. You know, 200 people in here. Do me a favor, get me up to 50 likes. I don't ask you guys. I don't try to beg for likes the whole stream. But if you guys could hit me with a like while you're watching the show with me right now, I would appreciate it.
Because of him.
Okay.
He always fighting with us because of something is nonsense.
Okay.
Because I want you guys to put him in jail forever, not forever.
Yeah.
Because he never listened to us. If we say something to him, he's never gonna listen to us.
I get it. I see you're very upset about it. I understand that.
So when it comes to, because I mean, I get you guys have your own beef, but right, he doesn't have a choice in all this matter. You guys could hypothetically just leave, but our concern is him. So as far as like, is he the only parent that's involved with this young little boy? And do you guys have the resources to take care of him? Like if you were to have custody, or
Me and my wife is the one who received an offer for it.
do not want to, or do?
You do or don't?
We want to.
You want it. Okay.
So what I'm getting at is that then a case can be made, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to write up a case to CPS as well as charges against your brother for his behavior. You can go to the court and petition to become his sole legal custodians. If he doesn't want anything to do with him, he can sign him over and then you can take custody of him. But you could also look into like getting protection orders, which would protect you guys from him. And that would make it a lot faster because it's DV and he'd get arrested. So I would, if you're serious.
Samoan, that's what it is, Samoan. I definitely get I think they're Samoans. I think they're Samoans. And I think I met the bio of this video or of this video, the description box I met. It's StreamYard. They're willing to step up. Yeah, they are. It seems like they're tired of shit, but you know, a family is tough. A lot of people don't want to get involved and overstep with children. You know, they'll be very hesitant to that. You'll probably wonder like, oh, you know your sibling is a alcoholic. Why would you not take their kid? Some people, they're afraid. They don't want to overstep. They feel like they might be ostracized for it. And I get it. Like, it's not easy to come and tell somebody, hey, I'm taking your kid because you're a stupid drunk. You know, if people get angry, they're not really honest with themselves about their substance issues. So, but let's continue.
Curious about it, start looking into, because ultimately today you guys are protecting him, and obviously your brother just
from his own time, you know that?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is like I would genuinely look into, and we'll get your information and note in our report, but start looking into the process to take legal custodianship over him.
All right.
Because if he's unfit, he doesn't need to be.
Yes, ma'am. I understand.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
And we will support it as much as we can. We'll do our part as much as we can. Okay. 46. We'll take one more if one's available.
You got the rush on the skin, right? And just make sure you get some peace.
How the fuck you take him to hospital, but there is no fucking family with him? How the fuck you gonna do that?
Hey! Get back!
Don't be mad at your family for calling you out, right? Because it could have been CPS, right? He's all mad and ready to buck out on his brother. Your kid could have been in the system. And I hope that today he's thanking these family members. Because I bet you that kid going into the system is way worse than him ending up with your siblings and at least being raised in his culture. Like, the selfishness is astounding. And obviously he's under the influence, so he's really not thinking either. But it's like, you have a kid. You shouldn't need to get so hammered on your day off. You shouldn't need to. I mean, when are you supposed to spend time with that kid if you're hammered? I had custody of my friend's children till they were adults because of her issues. Yeah, and you know, like, it's always amazing that there's people that are willing to step up. That's why, for me, it upsets me seeing people who are obviously inebriated like this getting mad at their family members for not enabling them. Like, your kid could have went to CPS. You're lucky you got family to take your kid while you're having obviously a tough moment in your life.
You are not going to be doing this. Get back or you'll be placed under arrest.
That
Do you
is my
understand me?
son.
I get that, but you're drunk and you're not going to be any help to nobody. Do you understand me? I am telling you. You are going to let him go to the hospital and be seen, and we will make sure he's safe. Do you understand?
They see that?
Yes. They're not drunk. You are. We're not doing this today. Not in front of your boy.
That the is my son.
I get that, but you're drunk, and you're no help to nobody right now. Do you understand? You're drunk. Let him go get seen at the hospital. They know where you live. They are your brothers, right?
How the you gonna see?
They just want to make sure that he's okay. That's all they're doing, okay?
That is my son.
Yeah, and they're just going to make sure that he's okay. The firefighter, they just want to make sure to get him checked out. That's it. They're not taking him away. They just want to make sure that he's okay.
Would you rather strangers
Remember?
And he's lucky they're not taking him away. Right? All drunk and inebriated, sounding stupid as hell. You're lucky that they're not taking your child away. Because other people, CPS would have already been there. They said great de-escalating. Yeah. Listen, they're trying to. Because I honestly think their only concern is for that child. Because, again, they could very well take him to jail for endangering a child. You're sitting there drunk as hell at an intersection. Somebody can pull up and snatch your kid. All types of situations he can get in being inebriated with a young child that he cannot care for.
Remember me, okay?
Are you threatening your family in front of police officers?
No.
Sounds like a threat to me.
I'm not.
Listen, would you rather strangers take your son? Because it's either he goes with us or he goes with your family. You choose.
We're just trying to look out for him and look out for you, okay? That's all we're trying to do right now.
Unfortunately, we're at the place where either he goes into CPS custody or he goes with your brothers.
Please.
So you choose.
He needs to go get seen at the hospital, okay? It's about his health over what you want right now.
Okay. If you can just sober up, go stop drinking, find a clear moment, right? And then we start again later.
Okay.
Okay? Okay.
Anyway, I can talk to my brother.
They don't want to talk to you. They want you. They don't want. They just came from them. They don't want to talk to you. They want you to go back.
Only my brother.
They don't want to talk to you. I just talked to them. They want you to. They want you.
So she's so
angry.
They wanted you to go to jail, so I don't know why you wanted to talk to your brothers. They wanted you to get locked up. And these police officers, for whatever reason, are willing to spare you, let you go to your hotel room and give your kid to these cousins or siblings, whatever. Oh no, that is terrible. And this is the other thing that gets me about these type of situations. These guys are people, men, women, who claim to be such proud parents. They are so comfortable making their kids, their other kids, raise their young siblings. There is nothing more damaging to a child's development than having to play the role of a parent to another child. In essence, that child has lost their whole childhood. They don't have nothing. There's nothing worse than that. So I think this person is very brave to have done that. There's a lot of kids who they're not able to do that. And they just fall victim to the terrible caregivers and parents that they have. I was talking to someone today and they said CPS don't show up until the kids are damn near about to pass away. Right? They don't have the resources to. So it is really important for us as people, when we see stuff going on like this, to speak up, to tell the truth. To say, hey, look, I just saw somebody over there on the intersection, this busy intersection. They're drunk and they got a 4-year-old. It's our responsibility to do that. They want him to go to prison forever. He should go to prison forever because, again, you have a 4-year-old. What is going on in your life that you need to get hammered on your only day off that you probably have to spend with that child? North Star says, worst case, the cycle continues. Yeah. Well, it's really up to individuals to break the cycle. We're only handed a deck of cards, right, which is our life, and then we get to deal out another set of cards, which is our lineage, and those set of cards get to deal out a set of cards, and we can just hope that everyone is being dealt a good hand, and it's our responsibility to do that for our kids.
Are drunk with your kid on the side of Pack Highway. His diaper is soaked and he's covered in Fanta. That's why I'm upset. I'm here to protect this little boy, not you. You need to go and sleep it off.
Can I walk you back over there?
No. I always try to ask you guys, like, I just want to talk to my brother, please.
They don't want to speak to you right now, okay? You have to respect that. You can't force people to talk to you. Yep.
The man returned to the motel
and that officer read him for filth. She said, I don't care about nothing that you're saying, right? I care about this kid. She read him for filth. That's exactly how you deal with these types, because these types claim to be doting fathers, but they really just want sympathy. They want people to care about them. And a lot of these people, a lot of these types, they know nobody's going to care about them unless they got kids around them. They know it. He's lucky they're telling him to go sleep it off. They're being lenient. Exactly. I've seen people get yoked up on these same body cams for less. Getting yoked up for public intox just in general. So he's lucky they're letting him go sleep and letting his sibling take the child instead of put the kid into CPS care. And I promise you it's because these police officers know CPS is no better for these kids. Somebody was just in here talking about how CPS supposedly, allegedly distributes children. I don't think that that's happening in a grand scheme, but I definitely think there are enough kids going through that in the system to where the system should be a last option, a last resort, right? And some people, it really is their last resort. Child Protective Services, tomboy. These ninjas want to be coddled. Yeah, he definitely wanted to. He wanted them to feel bad for him and be like, oh, well, you're a dad taking care of your kid. I'm telling you, with the advent of social media and women giving these niggas their kids, all hell is broken loose. Like, I'm really starting to think like that some women really, they had to just go away. And I don't know if you guys heard it when the brother was talking, but the mom ran away because he's abusive, right? So the mom is not helping him raise this kid because she was being abused. I don't agree with that, but I can't tell people how to react. Look at how he was reacting when his siblings were trying to take care of his kid while he's drunk. Who's to say how he was treating that woman? I don't think it's an excuse to leave your kid, but I definitely think you can only push people so far. In a different country outside of the U.S. Where'd you grow up, country boy? I'm from Canada, so my fault if I sounded slow. No, you're good. You're good. There's different names for it, but in some states here it's called Child Protective Services. In my state, it's called Department of Children and Families. Department of Children, Youth, and Families. In Massachusetts, it's called the Department of Children and Families, or Children and Family Services, or whatever you want to call it. So it's very different all around the world, but in the U.S., a lot of places it's just called CPS. And when I was in homes in the U.S., the foster dad beat me from head to toe, and I was, oh wow, I'm so sorry, country boy. That is the worst, honestly. Honestly, it truly is. In the UK too. Yeah, that's a pretty common, because it's Child Protective Services. That's a pretty common way to describe it. Now, some states they have their own names because they name programs after that. So I wanted to pull up with you guys really quick while we're here. Not going to do this survey. The Child Welfare Information Gateway, right? Just to sort of give us an idea of what the definitions are of these words that we're always throwing out. Because we're always talking about child abuse, child neglect, all this. And people think that we're just using these terms lightly now to condemn people. So I want to make sure we're staying aware of what all this stuff means, and how it applies to what children are going through in 2024, in life, whatever. So I'm going to put this up here. Hopefully you guys can see it. I have a feeling you can't, so I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. But we're going to just talk about the definitions of child abuse and neglect, right? This is what it means to be an abusive or neglectful parent to a child. All right, so child abuse and neglect are defined by federal and state laws. At the state level, child abuse and neglect may be defined in both civil and criminal statutes. This publication represents civil definitions that determine the grounds for intervention by state child protective service agencies. At the federal level, the Child Abuse Prevention and Treatment Act CAPTA, has defined child abuse and neglect as any recent act or failure to act on the part of a parent or caregiver that results in death, serious physical or emotional harm, SA, or exploitation, or an act or failure to act that presents an imminent risk of serious harm. Now, taking your kid on a busy street with no shoes, dirty, while you're dirty, is definitely neglect, right? You're failing to provide them the proper hygienic care, safety, right? Because they have no shoes on, they can step on anything, like literally anything. To be on a busy road with no shoes, nasty work to have a child there. Nasty work. You know, there was a homeless man sleeping not even 100 feet away from them, right? That poses a danger because you don't even know who these people are, what intentions they might have for you or your child. And when you're inebriated, you can't keep your child safe. All right? They take kids away. They should never take from parents, and they leave kids behind in one of the most screwed up branches of the United States government. Now, that's definitely true for some kids, but I promise you there are other kids who, had it not been for state intervention, would be in horrible, heartbreaking conditions. So it's tough because, yeah, we see a lot of the mistakes that these agencies make, but without these agencies, children were in much worse conditions. Children were much less safe. They had less resources, right? There was a need to create these child safety organizations in all countries, you know, but specifically the United States because of how much child abuse and neglect and keeping kids from school and all that. Let me stop sharing this. We're sharing the wrong thing for a second. But all of these laws about children and how to take care of them and what's neglect, that came out of necessity. Like that didn't just come out of thin air. There were a lot of kids who were being harmed, who were not given the proper chance in life, who weren't even taught anything. They weren't, like, if it wasn't for the government mandating school, imagine how many kids wouldn't be in school today. Like, we think back to the farm days and like, oh, they'll keep the kid on the farm. But I can just think of how many people would keep their kid just out of convenience to themselves, you know, keep them from school and things like that. I had a friend that was beaten by his foster mom. He found his real mom and she OD'd a year later. Oh, wow. That is so sad. Damn, I just had a friend that lost his grandmother, which he found, then a year later found his grandfather, then a few months later lost his. Wow. That's a lot of tragedy. I'm so sorry for that. Is the United States government, you don't think they screw people every day? Oh, they make up lies and get away with it. Listen to some of the court hearings. It's discussing what they do to people. I definitely agree to an extent. Now, I agree to the extent of, like, I don't want to get rid of the government or law enforcement because the condition of the world without those things is much scarier than whatever perceived rights or things you think are being violated. Unfortunately, that's my perception. I asked my ex if she would adopt a teenager. I don't want a little kid, and the older ones don't get picked. Yeah, that's a nice thing to do. I think a lot of kids are left without homes. So if you can adopt children, that's something you should do. It's definitely something you should do. So
was cited for child criminal mistreatment while officers took his son to the hospital.
Yep, I want to speak to you right now, okay? You have to respect that. You can't force people to talk to you. Yep.
The man returned to the motel and was cited for child criminal mistreatment while officers took his son to the hospital.
You want to sit with me on the stretcher against another
I'm going to put you I cannot touch you right now. You know that?
And you know, the one thing that people don't understand is kids who are in abusive households or in these neglectful households, they're not going to be in a hurry to run away from their parents, right? Some of them might be, right? Because for them, it's about their needs being met and they've been taught that at least at the minimum. But a lot of the times, it's their dad, it's their mom, it's their family member. Being pulled away from that, whether it's in a neglectful environment or not, is going to be hard for the kid. You know, so sometimes this is what I meant when I said, like, sometimes families feel guilty because imagine pulling your nephew away from their dad because the dad is too drunk to take care of them, and this is their reaction. The kid is crying and just miserable, sounding so sad. Like, that would hurt to do. Like, so I don't want people to, try to hammer down on family members who don't jump in and take custody. Like, it's not the easiest thing to do, especially if you have a deviant for a family member who just can't hold themselves accountable at all. It's very sad. It's very, very sad. So it's only a minute or so left in this video. I have a few more videos that I want to show you guys of some parents. One that I'm going to do next is of a parent who I believe, and the people in this video as well believe, was teaching her kids how to steal. Here's what I'll say to this, Tyrell, because you're making very good points. The problem is, I'm not willing to get rid of anything without a reasonable substitute. Everybody wants to burn down the establishment, but they don't have a replacement for the establishment. I think we can burn it down when we have a replacement. Until then, I'm not willing to get rid of any programs. Like, I want to, if anything, bolster the ones that we have and brainstorm something new. I just don't think that we're in a position as a society to just burn away all the things we don't like and keep the things we do like. I think that a lot of work needs to be done as a whole group, as a whole societal group, before we try to break anything down. That's just my opinion. I don't think we should be getting rid of any social programs because we don't have replacements for them. And that means kids are going to go hungry, women are going to go abused, people are going to go uneducated, all of that. So, good night, Flora and Chat. Have a safe and peaceful night. You too, Victorious One. I know it's a late show, but I have to get one in for y'all during the week. So, Department of Education is about to be wiped. I want to see that happen. I want to see that happen because there's a lot of big talk going on right now. Trump is talking a big talk right now, him and his peoples. But I really want to see what they're going to do with this administration before I make a decision.
You want to sit right here with me? Yeah, come here. Hey, look at that! How cool is this?
We're headed to another call. We're going to go force the door.
Yeah, thank you so much.
The child's uncle and a CPS representative met officers at the hospital, where the uncle provided further details about his brother's behavior. He explained that his brother frequently acted irresponsibly and that the child's mother had left due to his brother's abusive behavior, returning only every few weeks to check on her children. CPS, already familiar with the family, noted they had custody of the couple's older child. After the 4-year-old was medically cleared, CPS took him into temporary custody until his uncle could obtain full custody. Share your thoughts below.
And that is honestly just really sad. I hope the uncle did eventually get custody of him because it's really sad. He has to be displaced because his dad is a nut job. So we just need to write all procedures and policies for every department of the United States government. Of course, we need the. I don't know that we can do this, Tyrell. I don't think we can. I don't think we can just get rid of everything and build it new. We don't even know what these new policies, what the implications, what's going to happen in 20 years once we start using these policies. I don't know about that. I was all for burning the establishment down like 5 years ago. I feel very differently today. And a lot of it has to do with my work experience, my life experience. I don't think we can do that. Dumb down the population and the rich get educated and the poor don't understand why they are being enslaved. That's true. I do think that that's sort of what they're trying to do, but I think we're in 2025, right? Like if the establishment has control over what you or your children learn, outside of like the basic education necessities, then there's a problem. Like your kid should be learning something from you. So I don't know. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next one. Let me X this out here, and I'm going to pull up this one. This is a Walmart. I'm gonna say this: Walmart has not been playing with y'all. Like Walmart is so sick of you people going in there and swiping fruit when you know damn well you just swiped the TV, right? Like I think Walmart is tired of people, and so now Walmart prosecutes, you know, all of their theft situations, and they've been finding. I've been seeing a lot of body cam footage of workers robbing Walmart. I don't know if that's a theme, but let's look into this one because this particular worker, she didn't have no shame. She didn't have no shame.
There were 4 instances where he's on a register, and she herself would bring up her merchandise, and he would not bring up all of her items. Sometimes he doesn't bring up anything. He'll just bring up one item and void it out. This one is with other people that she knew. So all of these items were not paid for.
And I noticed in the videos that you said you had 8 kids?
Yes, I have 8.
Okay, so there's a kid in the cart, and then there's this kid.
That's and that's my son.
At a grocery store in Belle Glade, a cashier masterminded a theft operation, stealing thousands of dollars in merchandise. She didn't stop at manipulating transactions herself. She even recruited another cashier to help her exploit the system. On her days off, she brought her children to the store, teaching them how to skip scan items and walk out with unpaid goods. This calculated scheme.
Now, here's the one time that I'm going to say that the description is doing too much, right? Calculated scheme is a stretch. People have been skip scanning at Walmart since they installed all of them self-checkout. I'm not trying to be rude, and I'm not implying that I've done it, right? Walmart has been I'm not going to say anything else. I've said too much.
Team caught on video revealed a deliberate effort to turn her workplace into a personal target for theft, leaving the store with massive financial losses. Let's see how this went.
A lot of times it's for kids. A lot of times it's just her shopping. They would shop, and then once they bring it up to the register, she would not scan all the items for her kids, or she would void out the entire transaction and allow her kids or herself to walk out with all of the product not paid for. It was 31.
Listen, Supreme, he's definitely reaching. Because she's skip scanning, there's a point in Walmart history where that skip scanning shit, it was working. Okay? Folks were going in there, robbing that wall. I'm not trying to encourage theft or anything, but folks were more than skip scanning, you know. So, and it was working. Folks were leaving Walmart with $30 less. You heard that right, $30. It wasn't even that much less, you know. So, anyways, this store caught onto her from before. Yeah, I mean they're talking about thousands. She literally stole $1,500 worth of goods. Okay. And she did pay for a lot of goods still. I'm not excusing her. But again, the language is misleading to act like she thought up some marvelous scheme. Nah, them folks been doing that nonsense. They've been doing that. Supreme, they've been doing that. The cameras are just now catching up. That's the only difference. But all these folks, they're getting caught up. They're getting caught up.
Instances of that between 6/123 through 8/3/23. 31 times she did that, totaling 1,486.07 of stolen merchandise. But as long as there's items that she did pay for, that's not included in that total. That's just what was not paid for. What he did, there were 4 instances where he's on a register, and she herself would bring up her merchandise, and he would not bring up all of her items. Sometimes he doesn't bring up anything. He would just bring up one item and void it out. Everything else, he would allow her to put back onto the cart and let her walk out. She walks out. Correct. It's 4 times of that, and all of those items that we were able to identify that were not paid for was $274.32. All of that happened last month on 7/4 through 7/22.
Now, how do you rack up $1,000 worth of grocery charges from skip scanning in 1 month? I keep telling y'all, don't poop where you eat. Like, how are you robbing your job this much? And within a month? Because she's gonna talk about how long she's been there. But how are you robbing your job within a month of over $1,000 worth of merchandise? Like, that's ridiculous.
Was 4 times with him that he had helped her.
And she left. You and her, you said, right? Can we see the video?
Sure.
When officers arrived, the manager reported that she had stolen over 40 times in just a few weeks and even brought her kids to teach them how to steal.
I asked to have it brought up here. Okay.
And it's not funny, right? It's not funny that a parent would teach their kid how to steal at all. But I'm going to fucking laugh at you. I'm going to laugh at you. Because why the hell would you steal from your job this many weeks and you just got this job? Like, you think they wouldn't be watching you in the first 3 months? Like,
You want to see either one? Or?
Yes.
So I have it per day. That's on June 1st through August 3rd. So let's go to the first one. So I'm going to pull up the other camera because this one, she has the merchandise off to the side. This is the overhead camera. These are the items.
Who came up with the items?
She wrote the items on. Okay. But it was sitting there for a while. I always take like a small clip because the longer the video, the larger the clip, the larger the video it holds. And so what she does is she only brings up. She doesn't bring up. I believe it was 3 items. It was just these 3 items.
Mm-hmm.
We was what was identified that was not run up. That was total of 447. I mean, the first time it was like small, but as she continually got more comfortable with what she was doing, we started to have these larger transactions. Like this one was on 621, $106. I can go to it on 621. So this was for other people that she knew.
and I'm going to do you guys a favor, right? Because he's pretty much going to break down everything. But notice he talked about a gentleman there. A gentleman who was helping her, voiding out purchases, paying for one item, and then like filling up the car, and then only paying for one item. So she didn't do this all on her own. We're going to take a look at what her co-conspirator has to say when he is approached by management and let known that they know what he's been up to.
Do you think he'll come clean? Let's find out.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
I'm gonna have a seat, okay? Yeah, please sit here. How you doing? What's going on my end? Just so you know, you're not under arrest. I just want to know what's going on. Tell me what happened.
I made a
Okay?
mistake.
What
I
happened?
made a mistake.
What happened?
It's not funny. It's just, being young and having an opportunity and just being dumb. And now I don't put stuff in jeopardy, put myself in a position that I don't like to be in. This is embarrassing.
You would think he was talking about somebody else, right? You would think he's talking about a young guy or somebody else. He's talking about his own actions. Okay?
But I will go. I ain't gonna cry though. I ain't gonna cry. We good. You guys are pretty chill, so I'm not really too much nervous no more after talking. But at the end of the day, it's just a mistake, and I'm assuming the proper proceedings gonna happen. So there's not really much to it. The man told me to write that, and then I've been sitting back here since then. So
I don't know what he writes.
Yeah, I'm just
what's the mistake? Tell me about it.
They said last month they got me for not scanning a couple items, but then they wanted me to pinpoint how much of this. I'm like, I don't know. Like, it wasn't for the whole year I've been here, or for 6 months, or for 5 months, as far as just a month ago. Mm-hmm. So it's not a common thing. It's not a normal thing. He told me everybody he talked to about me, they all said the same thing. Like, he's not that type of kid. It's that third, and that's basically where I was at with that situation.
You're not a kid though. Right? You're a grown man. You might not have a fully developed brain yet, because they say 25, and I believe he's like 20, something like that. So he's not very old, but he's speaking about himself almost like in third person. It is related to the woman. He was skip scanning for her, and there were even times where he voided her transactions. So she would pay for one thing, act like they were scanning everything, and then go home having only paid for one thing. So he's been involved in it too, and it is related to the woman that they are firing. But I mean, nobody needs to steal from their job 40 times in 1 month. That's just not something they have to do. So I'm trying to understand where he even justified this. Maybe she was like, I'm going to break you off a few dollars or something that I saved. But this was not necessary. I understand. Maybe I honestly believe the store would have let it go if she did it once or 2 times. But for her to go back 40 times and just keep doing it, that's crazy. I think he got a cut. Yeah, she probably did it for him one time too, and he was like, "Oh snap! I'm gonna eat some steak. I'm gonna eat some da da da." Because the manager said they got bold. It went from spending smaller amounts to up to 100, up to whatever. They got bold. So I believe he was probably cutting in on this too, but he wants to act like she just tempted him, and the devil tempted him, and he missed out on his opportunity to choose God. That's what it's giving. But he's gonna keep making a case for himself. So let's listen.
Situation. Me and him, we just talked about it, and told me to write that, and I guess he'll be back and talk to me some more or something like that. And I've just been waiting since then. That's pretty much the situation at hand. So I'm just waiting to see what's gonna happen.
What about the items that you didn't scan? What happened to them?
Yeah, up in the air, out the store, or either put back into go bags. There's a lot of different things we do with the items. But then that's another thing he wanted me to like the things he wanted me to answer are things like a month or 2 months ago, and I'm like, hey, I can barely remember things from last week, but I can try my hardest to really jump all the way back then and tell you the best I can. And I don't know if that's really much help, but
no. But you said he told you there's some items that wasn't scanned.
Yeah, he wasn't specific. He wasn't specific on any of the stuff like that. Well, he just basically said, hey, you've been flagged in the system for this, and this is what we got. This is what's going on. But he didn't tell me what items wasn't scanned or nothing like that. He didn't tell me how much or nothing like that. It was just more of the system is reporting to you, so we got to do an investigation into what's going on. And that's where I'm at currently with it.
Do you remember any item not being scanned? Do you remember any item was voided or anything like that?
Yeah, when it comes to voiding, that's common between the cashiers. Like if a customer doesn't want it, or if something happens, or if a customer already purchased item and they're just exchanging for another, or they damage their item, it's common for them to just, hey, I bought this, and me being the cashier that's already seen their face, once they come up, put it in the bag, here go your bag, go about your day, because you already purchased the item prior to this interaction. I've seen your receipt, I've seen the whole prior to that.
Right.
And I mean, but as far as the store concerned, that's not the correct way to handle things when it comes to that aspect of it. That's pretty much it when it comes to registers. I don't really keep track of what goes on. But like I said, just being young, being in a position where you want to be beneficial, you want to be helpful, and it's just not the correct.
What do you mean by being helpful?
No, just in general. Like if somebody asks for you, like if you're in a position to help others.
Don't
and
talk
this
in
is,
slang.
I'm not, this
Talk
is slang.
straightforward with
I'm saying, okay, so being in the position to help others, at least the person that I'm not going to speak for everybody, I'll speak for myself. Being in a position to help others, the person that I am, I would take that opportunity. But in this instance, me not considering consequences or what is the actual actions that I'm doing, what it could lead, like that aspect of it wasn't being processed. And me being so young and being so quick, and at my 18th birthday, I just went to prom, I just went grad bash, I just graduated, I just came from Orlando as a graduation show. Like all these things are going on. I'm moving so fast. I'm making a little money from Winn-Dixie, and everything's going smooth. Nobody's really in my ear telling me nothing, no rights or wrongs. It's just the introduction to adult life, and having all that at once, it just didn't end up making the right decision. And it's unfortunate.
So what's not the right decision? That's where I'm lost.
The not right decision is allowing, whether it's willingly, well, I can't say unknowingly, because if that's the case, then it's not your fault. But just being true to your morals and not allowing items to walk out the store, or being honest and scanning everything and doing things of that nature, because that's what it is to be a Winn-Dixie employee. That's somebody sticking to their morals. And that's what I mean by doing the right thing. And that's the mistake that was made.
You already know what it is. Okay, I'm going to send everything I have to the state attorney, and they're the one who's going to make the decision on making either making an arrest or not making an arrest. Okay, but this is serious, as you know. I have all the videos, and the manager's going to send them to me tonight, and we can move forward with them.
With his confession out of the way, officers knew it was time to confront the mastermind behind the entire theft scheme. Let's see how this worked out for her.
I don't know, something about that microphone in the back of his pants was giving school administrator.
I was going to make it. Can I use it as a phone? I was going to make it.
What's your name?
My name is.
Have an ID on you, ma'am?
No, ma'am.
What's your date of birth?
October 1st, 1991.
Let's go. Okay, what's the date of birth for her?
10/1/91.
91, I remember. Hold on. But you look different, right? Yeah.
I look different what? I'm just fat as hell.
Nah. No. It's not. I hate when folks try to fish for a compliment like that. They'll be like, "Oh, I'm such a fat sloppy son of a." And I'm just like, what do you want me to say to that? Like seriously, what you want me to tell you? No, you're not a big fat sloppy son of a. Why would you even? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's so cringy when people like seek compliments like this. Look at her face too. You can tell she's enjoying that shit. You say 10/1/91? Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. That's my driver's license.
Mm-hmm. You look different though.
I'm just fat. Stop. That's it.
All right. Anything with him? He said if you wanted to go down the list again, he would try. That's where we're at. Just chatting. Can you have him step outside real quick? Can you help the phone real quick? Hold on. Put your hands behind.
Can I use the bathroom first?
I'm gonna use your bathroom, I promise. I'm not gonna be nasty with you, okay?
Oh, it's not any way
I can talk
I'm
to
gonna
you.
talk to you.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
There's ways to do that.
Okay.
All right. I do have to read you this part before I actually. You have the right to remain silent and not answer any questions. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Any statement you make must be freely and voluntarily given. You have the right to the presence and representation of a lawyer of your choice before you make any statements and during any questions. So promises to induce you to make any statement, this must be on your own free will. Do you understand? Any statement can and will be used against you in the court of law. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And I love that they straight up say, like, can and will be used against you, right? We're literally going to use anything you say to us against you. You know, it's a beauty that people still continue to speak after that.
I'll tell you what.
So basically, I was helping out coworkers, but they were scanning it up for me in self-checkout. But just like I told him downstairs, everybody does it. When I say everybody does it, I mean everybody does it. So, like,
but right now we're here for you. I saw the videos. Right. I saw you walk out with the cards. We have different occasions, different instances. So I just want to hear.
And again, I'm going to say it again. My mom would say, if everybody jumps off a bridge, are you going to jump off a bridge too? Right? Just because everybody is thieving and robbing doesn't mean you should jump in and do it too. And I promise you, the people who taught you how to do it were not doing it 40 times a month. And if they weren't getting away with it, then the establishment should question everybody. But I guarantee you they were not doing that. I promise you, they were not going into their job, sending their kids into their job, sending strangers into the job, and teaching a new other employee how to steal. I promise they weren't. Maybe they taught you how to do it so you can do it every once in a while when you want to add a steak and some Pinot Grigio, but you went forward, right? You decided to add all types of stuff. You got your kids involved in it. And you don't even care that that's all you're doing. Archangel says, do you remember the Chase ATM money glitch? What ATM money glitch? I was not a part of that. Nope, I got busted stealing a 5-cent piece of candy, a piece of Bazooka Joe bubblegum when I was 7. Learned that was not my future profession. It bothers me because she obviously doesn't care about keeping a job, right? If you're willing to rob your job 40 plus times and you just got the job, because you're going to talk about, oh, I just got a job. How do I know how to avoid if I just got a job? Okay, and you're proud of this? You're proud to let us know that somebody taught you how to steal and you decided to steal 15 days a month? I mean, you can't make this up. Arrogance matched with stupidity is a terrible recipe for disaster.
Hear from you about
but some of the stuff I paid for.
Right. Well, if we got, I got everything. I got the receipts. Okay. I have several transactions. Okay. Several transactions over $1,000.
Okay.
Worth of transactions. So there are some that was paid for, and he already went through that. Right. Remove the one that was paid, and the one that was either not scanned or voided have been taken out, and the receipts, everything is printed.
Okay.
I know people go through hard time.
So can I just pay them back?
Unfortunately, it don't
work.
No. Okay. So I'm gonna type up the paperwork. I'm gonna take you with me
to the bathroom.
I'm gonna take you to the bathroom.
Were they depositing like checks that were gonna bounce? Because if they were, then that's fraud. So that would be why they would be charged. If they were, then that was fraud. You know, that bothers me because you used to be able to take a picture of your paycheck. Like your paper check, let's say for some stupid reason you got one paper check. You used to be able to take a picture and upload it and it would be deposited into your account. Now you got to wait like 72 hours. And I truly believe that the scammers are the reason why we have to wait 72 hours to get our paychecks. You know, those people who would take a picture, mobile deposit or whatever, and then spend a bunch of money they don't have. You know, that's annoying. In their own accounts, no less on camera. Yeah, it's ridiculous. You know, like you're literally leading a, you know, there's a footprint that's going to lead right to your door when you do it this way. Let me write a check for $10K and now give me money I don't have. Yeah, that's frustrating. And, you know, imagine that day, those shopping days fall on a holiday. Like those people can blow money, right? Blow money they don't have because they wrote a bad check and they thought they were going to get away from it, get away with it. It's crazy, very crazy. They know it's her. You literally have to log in to the till to access it. Yeah, you have to. A lot of times there's a bunch of barriers in place. So, I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, she got this 18-year-old involved with her in this. She got her kids involved. The police were asking her, I don't know if you guys heard it, but they were like, are your kids criminals? Like, are these adults? Because at the end of the day, you taught them to come into the store and steal these items and be all nonchalant about it. Like, that's not something you should be teaching your kids.
But at my station, though. At my station, it's not too far, okay?
It's not.
And I love that they sent her. They sent a officer from her same community too.
Okay. Well, can I get handcuffs out of that?
No, unfortunately.
Okay.
The suspect was charged with grand theft and released on bond. However, she quickly violated the terms of her bond, leading to her arrest once again. That's when officers decided to question her about the theft ring on the job.
As I told you earlier, I'm Detective Owens. This way, here's Detective Morency.
Okay.
She's lead. This is her investigation. I'm just here to assist her.
Okay.
Whatever. So she just has some stuff she just wants to talk to you about, whatever.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, that's so ghetto. Like, that's so ghetto. You know, Archangel said, imagine your mama helping you get your first felony. That's crazy. I can't even imagine that. I can't even imagine that. I can't even imagine that at all. But yeah, she got caught up again because she's a dumb bitch. I'm sorry. She's a dummy. She's a dummy. Like, you get caught stealing at your job and then you somehow break bond. Like, you're a dumbass. And that's exactly what she is. I don't want to judge her too harshly, but that's what she is. She's stupid. You know? So let's watch this clip.
Before we talk to you, we have to read you your rights. We have to make sure you understand them. And then we have to make sure with your rights in mind, you agree to speak to us, okay?
Right.
So that's where we're going to start. Okay. You have the right to remain silent and not to answer any questions. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Any statement you make must be freely and voluntarily given. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
You have the right to the presence and representation of a lawyer of your choice before you make any statement and during any questioning. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Statement, this must be made of your own free will. Do you
Yes,
understand?
ma'am.
So they've provided me with videos for all the transactions that they allege. They're not alleging you stole everything. They're alleging that you missed items or voided items. And there was one where it wasn't.
Which is within their rights, right? Your job doesn't owe you allowing you to steal, right? You do it 1 or 2 times in a month, 3 times in a month, nobody's going to notice. You do it 20 times, 30, 40, 50 times in a month, yes, you're going to jail. They're going to wait till you commit a felony, right? They're going to wait till you spend $1,000 worth of theft and then come and get you. Like, I don't know how this isn't clear to these people yet. Like, it has to be people just being dumb.
scanned. I've reviewed all the video.
Okay.
So I know what happened. You know what happened. Some items were missed, some were voided, and there was a couple that were just voided out completely. But my question is, there was a bunch of kids that look like kids to me,
right,
that were picking up your groceries for you, picking them out, helping. So, and I noticed in the videos that you said you had 8 kids.
Yes, I have 8.
How old are they?
My oldest is 16 and my youngest is 10 months.
10 months. Okay. So I assume these are your children because you look like you're.
Life is really lifing on her. That's all I'm gonna say.
Familiar with them. They look like they're comfortable and familiar with you.
Right.
And I have to just confirm that they're children and not involved in any crime because this isn't. I'm not looking at your kids. I'm just looking to identify them.
Sure.
Okay. So the first picture, that's you, correct? You can, hello.
Yes, ma'am.
And this, I think, is one of your children. What's her name?
Her name.
This your oldest?
No. No.
Who is that?
That's a regular customer.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, so on July 30th, that customer came in and I forget whether you deleted things off of her receipt or what. So that's not a customer.
No, that's not one of my children.
She looks young though. You don't know her?
I know her, but she's not one of my children.
Do you know her name?
I think her name is.
These two?
I don't know who this is.
The little boy.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, good.
But that's my child.
Yeah, he was with your child. Who is that?
I don't know who that is. That's not my child.
See, that's why I'm asking.
I don't know who that is.
That's fine. But your other child, what's her name?
Her name is.
I printed this out, but this is just to show you. See, we're watching you scan the Hershey's bar. You scan it once, but you're holding 2. So that's basically what we were looking at.
Okay.
It's not the crime of the century. It's not a super big deal, but let me see. Okay, so there's a kid in the cart, and then there's this kid.
And that's my son, right?
Okay. And this lady got on the ground to play with your kid. Do you know who she is? I'm just curious.
That's a child.
She's a child?
Yeah.
She's a big child.
Yes, she's big as hell.
Now, how would they know? How would they know? You're sending these kids in to do adult things, right? Steal. How would they know? They wouldn't know the difference. You would have to point it out. There are some kids that they grow big. It doesn't mean their brains and their bodies are as developed as they appear. So it is your job to say that's a kid, that they look big, but they're small. And she did that in this case, but it's like, why would you even put them in a situation where they're being mistaken for adults because of what you're teaching them?
Child.
But not yours, or not related. She's pregnant.
That's their cousin.
That's their cousin?
Yeah.
What's her name?
I think her name is. I don't know her last name.
But she wasn't with your kids. She just happened to be there.
She was playing with them in the aisle.
And this is your time to explain maybe why it was happening, or.
Well, when I first started there, that wasn't my intention. I only got the job because it was hard for me. My car note is $466. I mean $488. My car insurance is $466.
Baby, listen, I'm not gonna sit here and play with her. I'm not gonna sit here and play with her. Credit or no credit, these car notes and this insurance is giving real rent-ish. Right? It's giving real rent-ish. right? The only cure to that is to have perfect credit, but we know folks are not going to have perfect credit. And even then, you're still paying a decent amount for your own car insurance and car note. That is expensive as heck. And that's a reality in 2024. Sorry, in 2025. Mama can't get a legit job to feed her 8 kids now. It's just her. There's obviously no men involved. They help make the babies, but they're not there to take care of the babies. So some of these parents are doing desperate things. But I think if you're willing to do a desperate thing, you should be more willing to go and get you some food stamps. Because I haven't heard her talking about no food stamps. Everybody in the comments was making the most racialized, crazy comments that they could make. 8 fathers. She never said there was 8 fathers. Just talking crazy, just being ridiculous. But she could very well have like 2 dads and no government assistance because she works a job. I don't know why people think that people who are working at department stores are getting full benefits. They are not. Right? The government is cutting you off as soon as you have a full-time job. So if she was getting full-time hours at that job, they could have completely cut out her food stamps. So when we look at it in that retrospect and we compare the amount that it costs to feed a kid, 1 kid per month, then, you know, this was probably legitimately backed by her family being broke and needing money. But, like, why do you have so many fucking kids and no dads who are making money to take care of these? Like, that's not what I meant to do, Redeem. Oh, Lord. I'm so sorry. What is wrong with this fucking computer? I'm so sorry, Redeem. I was not trying to block you at all. I was literally trying to read your comment, and I'm still gonna read it. So, Redeem says, "Why have kids, 3 dads these days? WTF?" Yeah, because like, my question would be exactly the same. Not only is there multiple men now that you have to hope they're gonna do what they need to do, but your household is going to be being pulled in so many directions. You know, it's really unfortunate. Both of us know kids. You know, well, that's good. Hey, Taman. My friend's food card was $400 a month. Same job. Mine was $33 a month. Yeah, because she got the kids there, right? So they're going to consider how much a developing child needs to be eating. And even then, they're only still going to give you a portion of what is needed to take care of developing children. So it's a difficult predicament. I'm not excusing anything that she did. I think you shouldn't take these type of chances, and definitely not at your own job. Like, bro, at your own job, that's crazy. I'm not saying you should do this anywhere, but to go to your own job and steal like 40 times in 1 month, you're a bold individual. And yes, they may have only charged you and not your coworkers because you did it 40 freaking times in a month, and your coworkers did it only a few times in their whole employment time there. So it's like, now you're asking for equality, but it's like you're the only dumbass who thought to do that in the first place.
My rent is like $900. My light bill run me like $250. My water almost that amount. So it's like, it was a lot. So I got a job at Winn-Dixie, and I started, I think it was like my 3rd month. I don't want to say because I've been working there for like 5 months. So I won't want to say 3 months, but 3 months in, I got close with the.
So not even a year in, and you are robbing
the girls that used to work there. So they hooked me on to like what to do when you when you working in self-checkout. So I got the swing of working in self-checkout, and then, they would just letting me know like you don't have to, you know, you can just do this and not scan this, you know, and just void it out on the keypad. Like I didn't know how to do that. I didn't pull it from nowhere. So obviously it had to be taught to me because I just started working there. So basically,
So those girls that taught you that, they don't work there anymore?
They're still there.
They're still there.
Yes. And I told Cliff, I told corporate because they asked me their name.
Were they stealing 40 times in 1 month, or 30, or 20 even? Were they stealing that often? Because I don't care who taught you how to steal. You waited until they waited until you accumulated $1,000 worth of theft. Like you were stealing for a good amount of time. Wow. I mean, you would think that this is an innocent person. This person has literally been stealing. They've only been there 5 months, and they've already stolen over 40 times and up to $1,500. Like that's having no shame.
I gave corporate and Cliff their names, but when I recently just went in there and talked to Cliff, I think it was like a week ago. I asked him, I was like, nope, let me back up. When the officer came in the store, when I did my investigation or whatever, the officer came in the store and, you know, he was like, oh, my boss told me to contact the sheriff's department. So I was like, okay, my AC had went out. So I was like, you know, I'll be back. So let me go run my kids somewhere so they won't be hot in the house because it's like 8 degrees in my house. So, when I got back, the police were there. They was in the back talking to the boy Omarion upstairs. So when I went to the back, you know, she asked me my name. She put me in handcuffs. And the man from corporate, he was like at the bottom of the steps. So I asked him, I was like, can I talk to you for a second? And he was like, sure. First, he didn't want to talk, but also like, you know, she want to talk to you for a second. So he was like, sure. So I was like, I know you.
Again, she's going to attempt to snitch, Karen, and claim unequal treatment. My dear, you've been there 5 months and you've stolen over $1,000 worth of merchandise. How? I mean, just the fact that you even went to your employment and stole is like so ridiculous, you know, but to be in here like, oh, well, other people do it. I promise you other people are not stealing 40 times a month. I'm not excusing it, but like I can see a business turning a blind eye to you skip scanning a few steaks versus like somebody skip scanning all month long, getting their kids involved, getting their neighbors involved, getting their kids' wife involved. Like it's ridiculous. That is not a normal or stable person who would do that. I'm sorry, a stable person is not going to put their job in jeopardy by robbing it.
Here to do a job, don't get me wrong. But if you say you're doing a full investigation, you should have nobody up front working. And he was like, what did you mean? I was like, they taught this to me. They the one taught me how to do it. So how come you trying to prosecute me, but not everybody else that's doing it? And he was like, oh, I'm doing an investigation. Oh, I'm doing an investigation. I was like, don't get me wrong. I know you have a job to do, but you should have did your investigation that same day, and you wouldn't have had nobody working.
So who taught you how to do it?
The girl, Oriana taught me how to do it. So I would just, you know, explain to him like, Moline does it, but it's not as often as everybody else. And just like I said, times got hard. But that wasn't my intention because I did love my job. Like I did, but that was never my intention.
Okay. Have any questions? All right. This interview's concluded.
The suspect was charged and sentenced to 3 years of probation, which she is still currently serving. Do you think her stealing from her job was justified? Let us know your thoughts in the
I'm gonna say no, but I do sympathize with her, right? Because she has 8 kids. The men are not helping her take care of them, obviously. That has to be the only reason why you'd be acting so desperate. But I still say no, because now she's separated from her children because she made a silly mistake. So, all right, so that one is all done. Let me see. Maybe we can get one more in before I really have to go. I'm so tired, guys. I might actually go. I'm going to do one more. I don't know how to do polls on here. 3 years should be 10 years. Yeah. I remember one business being so corrupt the owner fired everyone, clean slate, and started all over. Wow. And things have to be going real bad for a business to be comfortable, having no employees and just being the ones running it. I've seen that. I've worked in restaurants where they would rebuild that way. And I'm just like, oh, okay, so we're just going to pretty much scrap everyone and just start over again. Oh yeah, that's what we're doing. And it's going to work. Okay, bye. That's literally how it is. That's how cutthroat business is. I do think, especially the food industry is a tough business. A lot of what do you call it? A lot of failed restaurants. There's a heavy turnover, I think. I don't know if that's the right word because it's a business, but all right. So I'm gonna do the trailer parents because this one kind of disturbed me, and it's more of a story. So I'm gonna give you guys the brief synopsis. I'm not gonna tell you all about it, so there's some mystery still when we watch this story, because this is more of a story time. This is Dr. Insanity. I remember somebody in my chat telling me, and I realized that there was people in my chat telling me to watch certain channels, and I know why now. And I want to watch them, but I want to be reminded of which ones. I know Dr. Insanity was one of them. I know Delete Laws is one of them. But just remind me, because there's a few channels that have videos like that I want to watch. All right, so we're gonna watch this one. I just want to give a trigger warning. The content in the video, some people would consider very sensitive. I think it's sensitive as well. These parents, I didn't see the ending, but the parents have some involvement in how their child passed away.
The little girl's gone. Any questions for me?
My kids are okay.
This is 34-year-old Music Adami. Just hours prior to this footage, Music and her boyfriend, Matthew Bynum, woke up to police inside their trash-filled trailer home. They were unable to move and could barely speak.
What's going on?
I can't sit upright. I'm just really stiff.
What makes this even more terrifying was that lying under the couple was their deceased daughter, Zakiline. Officers would rush to get to the bottom of what had happened, but Music and Matthew are seemingly just as clueless. But as the investigation continued, horrifying clues would point the couple out to be neglectful killers of their own daughter. All the while, they had no idea she had even died. On March 10th, 2000.
Shout out to Dr. Insanity for giving all the details of the case and all this. For those of us who do the more reviews and have the conversations and things like that, shout out to you guys for this content. Make sure you guys follow, subscribe, share. I mean, they have millions of subscribers anyways, but make sure you guys check out Dr. Insanity. Thank you.
24, Thaddeus Hawkins would wake up to a terrifying scene. He was staying on the property of Music and Matthews, living in his own truck. However, Matthew would scramble to get up after hearing screaming coming from inside the family's trailer home just feet away. He would bust open the door to find the couple and their 2 children stiff and unable to move. As he looked closer, he noticed their daughter, extremely pale and without a pulse. As he went to call 911, music told him everything was fine and that help wasn't needed. But Thaddeus could tell music was clearly delusional in her current state and decided to take matters into his own hands, calling 911.
Grant County 911, what is the address of your emergency?
97 Quail Run.
Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
I have no idea. I'm staying with some friends right now, and they are completely. You have a little girl who's not responsive at all. To the adult, the parents are somewhat responsive, but not. They're in and out of. And then they have a 7-year-old boy who is mostly responsive. I was able to get him on a chair, but I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
I really don't.
And are you staying in the same house?
No. I'm just on the property.
Okay. What is your name?
My name is Thaddeus Hawkins. I woke up and I heard someone yelling, "Ow, help!" And so I went in and I was trying to help him.
Okay. And what room is he in?
It's kind of like a one living area type of thing right now, but he's in the same area as them. They're all in the same like tiny home area.
Okay. Give me a second while I get them started on their way, okay?
This tragedy would take place in a deserted area far from any civilization, so even though Deputy Orozco rushed to the scene, it would unfortunately be far too late.
What's going on? Some of the people in the room right here that aren't responding. They're not responding? So there's one that's not responding. Who's here? Sheriff's office. Yeah. What's going on?
Not much. Sorry, I'm really, really stiff this morning. I can't sit upright.
Are you guys on anything?
No.
No? What?
No, I'm just really stiff.
When Orozco first entered the home, he would notice a foul odor coming from it due to the trash and unhygienic nature of the home. Additionally, he noticed a metal container over a tub with ashes, something seemingly irrelevant now, but something that would help solve the case later on.
What's wrong with him? He's tired, I think. Is he awake?
He is awake. He moved from here over to there. He is awake.
Who's not responsive?
Not responsive.
The girl in the middle.
The girl, she's responsive.
Let me see.
Yeah.
You guys need to move.
Yes.
Move. You guys need to get up now.
Yeah.
Get up.
We're getting up. We're getting up.
Get up.
We're getting up. I'm getting up.
Let's go. Hurry up. Get up.
I'm going.
You guys need to get out.
Yes, sir.
Stand up.
I can't.
Yes, you can. Stand up. Get up. Hurry up. You need to get up.
Got it.
Good at 10-7.
Where?
Right here.
Who, kid?
Move. Get up. Yes.
Get up now! Get out! Get out! I don't care. Stand up.
I'm going.
How long, Hondo? Check his vitals. Did y'all smoke?
Huh? No.
What is it?
No, it's not. No, we just fell asleep really hard. We're really sick.
What's going on? Was it?
Unit calling your very 10-1.
Yeah. I'm
not calling 8.
Give me your hands. Give me your hands.
Where is this going?
Stand up! Now!
Okay.
I'm not gonna tell you again! Stand up!
I'm standing up. I'm trying to.
Give me the other arm.
Yeah.
Ow!
While Music and Matthew are being placed in handcuffs, Deputy Orozco would perform CPR on the daughter, Jacqueline. Unfortunately, it would be too late, and she would pass away that night. Fortunately, their son would be rescued from the home with only minor injuries and would be transported to the hospital. But one crucial question remained. What had caused Music and Matthew to be so incoherent that they had no idea their daughter was deceased just inches away from them?
So confused. So no, what about
help me because I need to be able to treat your kid.
Let me get up, okay? Stand up. Sit down. Sit up. Come on. All right. Thank you. Oh. What did you take?
I don't remember taking anything.
How long have you been out?
When was the last time that you were okay?
Last time I was okay. We were laying in the bed there. Had to split all the oak.
Okay, what the hell did you take, bro? What did you take?
I didn't take anything.
What do you guys have then?
I don't have anything.
You want to take him to the unit?
We'll get that once EMS checks and vitals.
We'll take him. Let's take one at a time. I don't know if he can walk.
He needs to get seen first.
Okay, so we don't know exactly what they took. They're both confused. They don't want to say anything. We have 110-7, 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Another one, bad condition. He was unconscious, I believe, when they got here. And she was also in bad condition when they got here. But our detectives are on their way right now, so we're just securing everything. She good? Let's go. Stand up. What's your name?
Music.
Huh?
Music.
All right, stand up, music, and place your hands behind your back, okay?
Okay. Right. I can't really stand it very well.
Let's go. Hurry up.
I don't know what it is. I'm trying.
Turn around. Give me your other hand.
You have to. Sorry.
Come on.
I'm trying. I'm really trying.
The scene is extremely strange, to the point where the officers have never seen anything like it. Music claims she hasn't taken any drugs since yesterday, yet neither of them are even able to walk or collect their thoughts. Something odd is going on, and detectives at the scene need to get to the bottom of it.
You awake?
Yeah.
Are you good?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I'm not sure.
Give me a second.
Yeah.
He's not feeling too good. I don't know if you guys want to check him out again. He's leaning to the side and he says he's not feeling too good.
Hello.
Hello.
What's going on?
Nothing.
You said you don't feel good?
Yeah. Lightheaded.
Lightheaded?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, can you tell me what your name is? Do you mind if we just check your vitals one more time?
I took a needle off of her. It's right there. It's all burnt up. There's still ash marks on her sweater. The door was already open. I seen the parents laying down, and I seen the son. He didn't look responsive. I didn't see him until I asked him. I said, "What's going on?" I looked left. He's just sitting on the chair, all lethargic. I was like, "What's wrong with him?" And I saw him moving and breathing. So I was like, "Okay." So I went to go check on him. I was all, "Who's not responsive?" And then she goes, the mom goes, "I don't think she is." And I looked, and they're on top of her. I didn't even see him. Like half of his left body was on her left side, half of her right body was on her other side. So she moved, and I looked at the kid, and I looked at her, and it was just, she was already gone.
While Music was being transported to the hospital, she revealed that her and Matthew had smoked amphetamine the day before, and that this was a regular occurrence. Even more disturbing was that the day before was Zachy Line's birthday. A birthday spent surrounded by filth as she watched her parents drown themselves in drugs. Despite the sickening nature of this,
And this is what I don't get. Like, why have kids? Why continue to have kids if you know you're going to need to be hammered, whatever it is, whatever condition that you feel like you need to be in to be able to tolerate life? Like, why continue to have kids in that environment? Because they had an older kid, and the Jacqueline, the one who passed away, was their youngest, and she was only 2. So it's like, why even continue to have kids if the whole struggle is too much?
Amphetamine alone does not explain music and Matthew's inability to walk or perform basic human functions. While a very strong drug, amphetamines do not have this type of effect on users, meaning the drugs she had taken were likely laced with something. With this in mind, police turned to the one seemingly only sober person at the residence, Thaddeus, the man who originally called 911.
What's going on? Why am I being arrested? You're not being arrested, you're being detained. Turn why? Because you're up here and there's a kid, that's why. Kid? Yeah. I wasn't even in the house until I don't care. Called. I didn't know she was. I really didn't. That's why I called. I didn't know what. Look, wait until they read you your rights, then you can start talking. Thank you.
Thaddeus would be taken to the Grant County Sheriff's Office, where a few hours from now he would undergo an intense interview with detectives. But officers back at the scene still needed to figure out what was going on, so they would engage music to get her side of the story and determine what could have caused this tragedy to happen in the first place. And music would reveal far more than they could have asked for. But before we get to that, I want to tell you about the best earbuds I've ever used. If you're like me, then you love listening to true crime podcasts. Maybe at work, at a cafe, or on the train. I do it while I'm on the bus to work, but there's one rate for tried. They have an hour and a half covered, so when you go to... Let's get back to the case. Officers are just about to interview Music about what went down just hours earlier. At this point in time, Music claims she had no idea her daughter is dead.
Diabetes, seizures, strokes.
I have had seizures before because I got a minor nasocranial fracture on a bicycle, but it was like 10 years ago.
What's your name?
Music.
Can you spell that?
MUSIC. My parents are long-haired freaky people. They really named me Music. I have an ID.
Do you have heart problems?
Not that I know of, but I have been having a lot of episodes where my both arms will be super numb when I wake up in the morning. But nothing like last night. Last night I couldn't sit up because it was excruciating. And my kids were all floppy, like we all were all floppy. I can't explain it. I don't have any idea. I don't know how my kids would have gotten it. We were at their birthday party all day. Like we did not have on us at the birthday party.
This is a lie. Notice how Music stumbles on her sentence after she realizes she shouldn't admit to taking any drugs at the birthday party. It's unclear why she felt the need to lie here, considering just minutes ago, she admitted to taking methamphetamine at the party. Regardless, she would be transported to the hospital where her confusion would only continue to grow.
She couldn't sit up. I have no idea. Like, I've done a lot of drugs and nothing has ever been like that. And I don't know what it was, but I do want a toxicology to know if something is going on. Everybody that was at the party, I trusted.
Are you going to be a nurse? Okay. So just real quick, I don't know if you're aware of her situation, what's going on. So if she brings anything up,
you trusted the people at the party to get you drugs that weren't laced.
Didn't question anything yet, so let's just ignore it. So she doesn't know anything at all. She doesn't know that her kids yet. So let's just, if she does say anything, just ignore it.
My kids have been feeling weird. All we had to eat in bed this night was some chocolate cake that we got for my daughter for her birthday. I do smoke weed, and the last time I ingested any was at approximately 12:30.
Okay.
Before we head out to the park for her birthday party. It's probably kind of sad.
I can't let you leave. I can't let you leave this room.
It seems like Music is a loving and caring mother, and this whole thing was a tragic accident. However, do not let her manipulation fool you. Just listen to what her son had to say when speaking with medics.
How is he doing?
He's good.
He is?
Said he hasn't eaten since Friday. So.
For reference, the current day is Sunday, meaning her son hasn't eaten food in over 48 hours, even while celebrating his sister's birthday. It's clear Music isn't telling the whole truth, something that would remain a constant theme throughout this entire investigation.
Kind of got a little bit of a mess right now.
Yeah.
So we're working through it a little bit at a time. The reason I'm here, I wonder if I could take some pictures of you.
Yes, that's fine.
Thank you so much.
Are you the detective?
I am.
Are you the one that will also be giving a toxicology report? Because I need one. I know I've done a lot of.
This is the thing I don't get either. Like, we don't care what type of drugs you think somebody gave you and how you don't trust the people you're around. There was a baby around you that was unresponsive. Like, why are you not worried about that? She's so worried about who in her friend group could have poisoned her. You should be worried about the fact that you have a child that you don't know its state of being. Right? Because the police don't have to tell you right away that your family member died. They should notify you, but a lot of times they wait. They start to investigate. They want to get more information before they break certain news, especially if they think you might be involved in it. But let's continue.
Of drugs in my life, and I've never felt anything like I did last night. It was completely bizarre. And all that we had was the chocolate cake that we bought at Albertsons just before bed. We ate one more slice of chocolate cake.
And what was it that you felt last night?
Last night, I just felt like I couldn't hold myself up. Like I kept falling into the wall. My kids kept falling into the wall.
You're weak. You were dizzy.
All of the above.
Do you have any questions for me?
My kids are okay?
Your kids are okay right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's one of your kids is here right now, but I'll talk to you about this more here in a little bit, okay?
The officer at this point is fully aware of Zakiline's death, but for the sake of keeping the investigation as controlled as possible, he decides to refrain from telling Music that her daughter passed away. Fortunately, just across the hall, nurses work to rescue Music's older child. He's not doing well, but thankfully he's alive.
You could have walked the way on his leg. So we're gonna do a leg X-ray, and then they need to go on his chest.
You want another blanket?
Any findings so far?
Okay, let me get you another blanket.
This claim from the nurse adds even more complexity to the entire case. She said the boy wasn't able to put pressure on his legs, just like his parents earlier in the day. This adds the variable that perhaps something else caused the family to become sick and handicapped, something that had nothing to do with the drugs they had taken. Hours would pass as Music recovered in the hospital and nurses helped her son. She would then be transported to the sheriff's office along with Matthew. It's at this point that officers decided it was best to, at last, break the devastating news to the couple that their daughter had died.
When we have a death occur, we treat every death as if it's a homicide until we can prove otherwise, whether it's someone, old person dying in their bed or what have you. So just for those reasons, we're going to take some pictures, okay?
Who died?
What's that?
Who died?
The little girl's gone. Okay. So we're going to have you stand up. Officer Carrasco is going to remove your handcuffs. We're going to take some pictures, okay?
I don't know if that was the right way to tell them. Like, obviously they caused this and all that, but I don't know if that was the right way to tell them. Like, some people think they're invincible. They truly think that whatever it is that they do and say can stop their children from feeling harm. You know, so I feel like they should have did that a little bit better. But
Senator.
Give him a minute.
Well, you guys were waking me up. She was talking.
So, Mr. Bynum, here in a while, we're going to have a conversation about that, okay? But I know you're going to need a little time.
Wait for representation.
Okay, you're going to want a lawyer?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, then let's take some pictures and then we can get you back to the cell for now, okay?
They would allow Matthew to break the news to Music in a private area without cameras. However, as it would turn out, Matthew was too afraid to break the news and saved it for a detective later on.
You guys are free to go. You guys are free to go. You just can't go back to the house.
Go back to the house right now.
Yeah.
So.
You know.
Well, he doesn't know. That's what I'm telling him. Okay, yeah. So you can't go back to the house. You guys are free to go. You guys' phones. She
We only have one phone.
the phone.
Yeah.
You guys come back tomorrow and get with the detectives in the morning.
The couple would roam free following this news, but without a home, they would live out on the streets for the night. Detectives, on the other hand, had a crucial question to answer. What could have possibly caused all of this to happen? As of now, nothing makes sense. A child was dead, and an answer had to be found. Fortunately, detectives had a plan to find the answers they were looking for. Remember Thaddeus, the guy on the scene who called 911? Thaddeus was the only person with the family the night prior, and seemingly the only coherent one out of the group. If anyone could explain what had happened, it would be him. With this, he would be brought to the station directly after Music and Matthew left, where officers would conduct their first formal interview of the case.
Sorry about that. Still a lot going on right now. All right, so I'm going to read this to you. It's an advice of your rights. It's going to take you to investigative detention, okay? Yeah. Considering the matter at hand. Yeah.
The detective would go on to read Thaddeus his rights. It's important to know that detectives do consider Thaddeus a potential suspect. The goal of this interview is not only to determine whether or not Music and Matthew are guilty, but if Thaddeus could have played a role in Zachy Line's death.
I saw that you were the 911 caller. Yes, but before we get into that, let's start in the morning. So how did the morning start?
Well, I don't know if you saw the red van there or not with the dogs in it barking. That's where I'm trying to convert that into a little trailer. That's where I was sleeping. I woke up and I thought I heard the kids playing around outside, and then I realized that someone was yelling out from inside the tiny home, and I didn't know why. So I got out of the van and I went to my check. There was music. Matt was kind of laying near music, like almost on top of Zachy, little girl. So that's what I decided to call 911.
So let's just kind of backtrack it a little bit. So you heard music yelling. So you hear that. You walk to the door. You go to the door and you open the door and you see Zach, you said? Zachy, and music laying on what?
Well, that was on the bed. Zachy was kind of half on, half off, and music was not on the bed at all.
So far, Thaddeus's recollection of events is accurate to what officers observed when they got onto the scene. He would go on to say that Music and Matthew don't consume or smoke any kind of drug other than marijuana. We know this is a lie, as Music herself admitted to taking methamphetamine the day prior, meaning Thaddeus's statements need to be taken with a grain of salt. However, none of this would matter, as the detective would ask a single question that, quite literally, would change the trajectory of the entire case.
How did they get the house?
It was it's a propane heater on the wall, yeah. But last night, a few nights ago, the propane ran out, and they had taken it off to go get propane, but never got it to the propane tip.
Did they ever start fires in the house?
No, they don't start fires in the house. They go and I thought you saw the coals in the bathtub.
Yeah.
So that was where they went and they burned wood and brought it in once it was cold and no smoke left.
Yeah, because that's what I thought. I saw that and I was like, well, maybe we could be looking at carbon monoxide here too.
It was. I don't think it would have been, because last night they might have used wood the coals to heat it, but it's probably not likely.
Despite what Thaddeus claims, this theory makes a lot of sense. If the family used coal to keep the house warm, the fumes could be potentially deadly. Burning coal releases carbon monoxide, a colorless, odorless gas that can cause poisoning. Inhalation of carbon monoxide prevents oxygen from binding to hemoglobin in the blood, leading to oxygen deprivation in tissues and organs. This can cause headache, dizziness, nausea, confusion, and in severe cases, loss of consciousness and death. The exact symptoms of everyone inside the home. If the trailer was fully sealed, meaning no windows or doors were open, then this could certainly have been what killed Zaculine. This is something officers would investigate later on in the night, but for now, this is just a theory, and the detective still needs to try and determine whether or not Thaddeus is lying about Matthew and Music's drug use, or if something even more sinister had taken place. To do this, he decides to relay the significance of this case to Thaddeus by letting him know that Zaculine had passed away.
Zachy, not know that. Zachy's gone. That's why all of this is happening. Yeah. Because we need to figure out how in the heck this even came to be. Yeah. Okay. So I know last time we talked a lot about doing the right thing and this and that. Yeah. I mean, that situation that you're in, definitely a good time to do that, right? Right. I can't even think of a situation where it would be more important to know what's going on than right now. I'm not the kind of cop that likes to get people caught up. That's not.
Poor living conditions.
All right, guys. So it's getting late, so I wanted to get to the charges before we got out of here. So let's look at the charges that this couple was hit with. Obviously, they caused the deletion of their kids. We're going to look at the toxicology report real quick. Sorry, that's where I meant to go first. And then we're going to look at the charges and get out of here.
Conducted on Zaculine specifically designed to identify carboxyhemoglobin saturation. Normal carboxyhemoglobin levels are generally up to 3.5% in non-smokers and up to 8% in smokers. When Zaculine's result came back, it showed a 70% saturation. It was far too much to survive. The coal fumes had killed her.
Oh my goodness. So again, we kind of figured that the coal was the issue. It was some sort of, so whatever it was they had consumed is what was making them all feel so sick, right? Because the only way the kids would feel sick too is if they either, accidentally consumed some of this, or if it was like the fentanyl effect where you touch it and you get sick and all that. This was obviously something that they couldn't really control it. The kids couldn't control it. The parents were very neglectful. They were neglectful of the apartment or trailer, I should say, how it looked and everything. Like, it wasn't clean at all. And so they probably just felt like, oh, well, we can just get the propane later. But certain things can become very, very dangerous to us, can become deadly. So you can't just leave something like that going. The carbon emissions, it was a sad accident. Yeah, very much. Very, very sad. It's one of those things where, like, damn, the whole family, like, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, a little bit more time could have passed and they would have all been deceased. It wouldn't just be the girl. So, because to have a 70% saturation, that's insane. That's a lot of smoke, inhalation, delusions, and things like that were probably going to be fully set in. Like, it wouldn't be reversible at that point. It'd be that much brain damage. So, anyways, let's see the charges real quick because I really don't have a lot of time, guys. I gotta be up super early all the time because I'm done by like 2:00. But let's look at this. Let's look at the charges here, and I'll let you guys get back on with your evening. I lived with a drunk that over 50 times left on the gas stove until I had to move out. Yeah, accident that was caused by neglect. Exactly. It was an accident that was caused by neglect, right? It's one of those things that if you're paying attention, if you're there for your children, then that shouldn't be something they're subjected to because you'll catch it. They just won't be taking care of themselves. Yeah, definitely neglect. Absolutely, Lana. I got that from what was being said. So,
resulting in death and abandonment of a child. Music was charged with intentional abuse of a child, resulting in death and child in the first offense. As of December 2024, their trial is still ongoing. If found guilty, the two will likely be facing life in prison.
Well, though at least they're facing charges. I hope they actually get charged. I hate it when the cases move so slow, but there's a lot of high-profile cases going on right now as well. Feel bad for all. Could tell they love their kids, but they definitely neglected them. Yeah, and like, I mean, that sucks because, you know, let's say you were stressed out because of poverty, right? Like, that's enough of an issue for a kid to worry about. Now they got to worry about poverty and disruptions in their household, being separated from you as a parent. Like, I just think like some things have to be more important. You have to prioritize certain things. So anyways, I'm going to send you guys off. Hopefully you have a good evening, and thanks for coming. Hit the like button for me on the way out. Any like counts, and I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm over here trying to turn my phone off, and it's already dead. Have a good night, guys. Bye-bye. Yes, kids first.